Hello and welcome to IndiePod, an indie games podcast, your weekly source for all the indie games news you need to know. This week, we will be walking you through, we'll be taking you on a journey through 3 awesome indie game news stories before, of course, we hop into news cram, God bless the crowd, and a shitload of your listener questions. This is a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of questions there, and they're fucking weird. Okay, so I'm excited.
It's so weird how the variance is always like 1 week we'll get like 1 question, and then they're like, here, have 7, and you're like, spread them out. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, we're either like, it's, what is it, feast or famine.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
just constantly one way or the other. And then we get, like, I like how we are now not just getting the weird questions, but we're getting a nice little mix of both.
Yeah,
so like if we get 6 questions now, at least like 4 of them are weird. And then you at least got 2 legitimate questions.
I mean, that's what our brand is, right? Is like,
oh yeah,
we border insanity and sanity there. We're just like tiptoeing around it. Like, yeah, we'll talk about indie games, but then we'll just start going off about some weird like dicks or poop or I don't know. It's always something with us.
I mean, that's the thing is like, if people ever wonder how we get so many questions for being such a small community, you got to answer everything. Even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, even if it's not about what your podcast is about, you fucking answer everything and you'll get questions. It's a guarantee. Because people, I swear to God, they're just like, this is something that I've wanted to ask a friend, but am just too cowardly to bring it up to them. So I'm going to bring it up to a complete stranger. Yeah. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll be your new friends. Yeah. Speaking of, we actually started a Discord for IndiePod that everyone can join. It's a lot of fun in there, honestly. You, of course, if you're a patron, you actually get special roles, and you get a specific text channel specifically just for patrons. I said specifically like 5 times.
Yeah, but it's specific, all right?
It's very specific just for patrons. But it is very fun in there, so I would recommend everyone join if you love indie games, if you love just talking about the dumbest shit. We've had so many conversations in there so far that are just kind of the weirdest shit I've ever talked about. Like,
yeah, there's some strange ones in there, but it was good. I wasn't expecting it. I was like, when I created the Discord, I was like, I hope we get at least a few people. Like,
yeah, and then basically like all of our patrons joined, and we had a couple people from like our friends, so like John from Parallax, we had like Rob from the Classic Gaming Podcast, which I swear he just joined so that he could, so he could get me to watch this fucking. I watched it, okay? I watched this weird ass anime that's like, "Why are you here, teacher?" or whatever it is. It's my new favorite anime.
Hot damn.
It's fantastic.
We'll have to get into that later.
Make sure you join our Discord, become a patron for $1, and you'll get your Patreon specific role and the chat. Of course, you'll get the episodes early, which is really awesome, and so much more exclusive episodes. It's great. But before we get into any of that, I have to introduce myself, Vaughn, alongside my co-host, my illustrious co-host, the best co-host I've ever had, the biggest of average address boys. How you doing today? I just said today. Today. How are you doing today, Big Josh boy? How are you doing today?
Today I'm doing pretty well. I would have to say.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like.
It's okay. That Freudian slip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right? That's actually what I was about to say.
Yeah, so there you go. We're on the same page. No, I'm doing well. I'm doing a lot of house stuff. I was telling you before. I am turning into a dad without kids. This house has just given me so many chores to do and so many things that I built a grill. I did.
You got a fur baby.
I got a fur baby. That's true. Yeah, I am a dad. Yeah, it's been weird. I built the grill, and I was telling my friends that, you know, we were playing games Saturday morning, and I was like, I gotta go build a grill, and they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I gotta go do a bunch of yard work and then build a grill. And my friend's like, are you a dad? And I was like, yeah, I think I am. So I sent a picture to him afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I finally got it built. And he was like, thanks, Pop. I was like, you're welcome, son.
Yeah, dude, Papa Josh.
Papa Josh, that's me, baby. I do not make pizza though.
Yet. You
yes.
just haven't opened up your restaurant chain yet.
That's
and
where
then
I'm gonna,
like 10 years later, the reckoning begins.
I'm going to take that hard swerve into I'm going to quit my job and just start cooking pizza. Gonna make a living.
Yeah,
off of
dude.
It. Now is like the worst time to start doing that, to go into to be like, oh, I want to go work in the food industry. It's a whole pandemic, but I think I can make it.
Yeah, I feel bad for all the people who opened their restaurants like basically at the end of 2019.
Dude,
They're
so
just like,
bad.
Great launch, we did great, and then fucking 2020 hits, and you're just like, you're dead.
Well,
everybody's dead. It's depressing.
It is ridiculous. What a time to be alive. Let me tell you.
Right? It's just fantastic. Everybody loves living in 2020.
You gotta love it.
I consistently love the like, how can this possibly get worse? And then everybody else being like, why would you say that?
Why would you wish this upon us?
Like that? Like all the fucking remember like last year when we were beginning of the year when we were just joking about World War III? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
That shit was great. And then now we're just like, can it just be over? Like, I'm so done. It's just...
It's been a roller coaster. This entire year, it's been crazy. And the craziest thing too about it is, like, I'm thinking about it, all these people are putting all this emphasis on 2020, and they say, oh, this has been such a horrible year. This is such a horrible year. And like most people, I feel like, are just in this mindset that when 2021 hits, they're just like, everything's better. And I'm like,
yeah, the coronavirus it's just gone.
This thing's not going away, man. Like, this is gonna be months before like even we get any of the feedback or change from vaccines or whatever the hell they're doing. And I'm just like,
yeah,
2021's probably gonna suck too. Like,
I saw that people are being very optimistic about going to PAX East and West in 2020 or 2021. I was like, it's not gonna happen, bro.
As much as I'd love for us to be able to go and finally start doing conference shit, now that we actually have like more of a leg to stand on with our show here, I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll be extra prepared in 2022 when it actually happens. Yeah, when they actually get packs that people can go to. That'll be sweet.
That's what we're doing right now, man. Is we're saving all that Patreon money so we can fund the PAX 2022.
Yeah, we're looking in the long haul.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
the long game boys, okay? We're like it's not gonna happen in 2021, but 2022.
You better watch out, Indie Pod's coming, baby.
We're gonna make you feel uncomfortable in all sorts of ways at PAX. But of course, this is an Indie Games podcast. I do have to go through some housekeeping. Of course, we do have a new developer interview coming up this week, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't prepare for that. I forgot what developer interview is coming up this week. It's Politics and War is the indie game developer interview that we are putting up this week. Of course, if you are a patron, you could be listening to that the day after this goes live for you. And if you are... like, I don't want to say a plebe, but like, if you are listening to this on free feeds, how about that? Or watching it on YouTube, because hopefully this video doesn't go wrong. It worked well last week, but hopefully it doesn't go wrong this week.
Fingers crossed.
If you are listening or watching on Friday, of course, this developer interview for Politics and War went up 2 days prior to this. So please go listen to it. Enjoy it. They're great interviews. Of course, last week we put up our Josh Leap developer interview for Tentacle Typer, which is a weird game. It's weird. Like, I'm hesitant to call it a game because it's a text editor, but it's also kind of a game. Yeah. Like, listening to his indie developer interview, I was like, what the fuck are you making, bro?
I know.
Like, what is it?
That's what, dude, listening to his premise when even before the interview, when he reached out and was saying, hey, would you be willing to interview me about this? I almost kind of like politely was like, are you sure you're making a game? Like, I don't want to be rude, but like, I don't know that this interview is going to work for the format that we have. And he went in, into more depth, and I was like, all right, I'll give you a shot. And like listening to it, I was like, this sounds really cool, but like very weird.
Seeing the shots he puts out on Twitter, it is very,
very
cool.
Yeah.
I love the whole, like, the old school typewriter aesthetic of it. I think it's really, really cool. So, but of course, please listen to that developer interview. It was pretty great. I very much enjoyed listening to him talk about it. Turns out, big fan of raviolis. Didn't know that. Like, you learn so much about people in these interviews. It's crazy.
Raviolis are good. But yeah, definitely listen to the Politics and War one. It's a very interesting, it's an older, like it's a web browser game. It came out, I think in 2010. I might be totally off, but it's a pretty cool game. You get to build your own country. You get to declare war on random people. And it's like all different types of countries that you just make up and you pick like a certain area. There's a lot that goes into it as far as like political stance, which is interesting because he didn't go into it trying to like teach anyone anything, but you can learn a lot from politics in just playing this game. But the guy's a cool dude. He bought one of our stickers, which was awesome. So obviously show him some love. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of our stickers, the next shout out is of course the IndiePod store. Head over to teespring.com/store/the something indie pod store. Just go over to our Twitter. Our pinned tweet is for our merch. You can get shirts and you can get stickers. We are working toward getting new designs. I found an artist that I really, really like, so we just got to rack up them Patreon bucks so that we can pay for it, because their art is fucking awesome. And I'm really looking forward to possibly getting some shirts, hats, and stuff made of it. So keep an eye out for that. But if you want some cheap merch now, you head over to the IndiePod store, and if you become a patron, you actually get, I believe it's 15% off our merch, which might seem weird that you're paying to get percentages off, but you pay $1. I think to get the percentage off, you have to give $3.
I believe so.
$5.
I believe so.
It might be
Pretty sure
$3, but
pretty sure.
Yeah, if it's $3, you get our stuff early. You get the access to our Patreon exclusive spoiler casts, and you also get that like 15% off. Like, shit, there's so much freaking value to our Patreon. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I look at other Patreons and I'm like, why do people pay you? That sounds mean. That sounds so mean, but it's like some of their tiers, I hate the like our thanks tier. Yeah. If you have an our thanks tier, you should just eat a dick. Like that's fucked up. Like $1 to give you like, thank you for that, but like your dollar's actually not worth that much to us. I'm like, nah, bro, you just fucking have our shit early. I don't care. Like, that's great. Thank you for your $1. I appreciate it. I'm a fucking idiot in general, so the fact that anybody gives a shit about my opinion is amazing. It's great. So just throwing some shade on everybody, trying to burn bridges before they're even built.
A lot of hatred just spewing out there. I was like, at one point I was like, are you yelling at our fans for giving us money? I was like, this is blending in, like it's getting weird.
Yeah, Josh, you're just like
why?
I just go into it. You just try to get off camera as fast as possible. Like, you're like, I actually wasn't present for that.
Gonna go downstairs now.
I wasn't present for that shitting on situation, so I mean, I never said anything about it. Yeah, but please head over to the IndiePod store. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to us, because of course these video episodes soon to be more impressions once I'm out of this first semester of school, because it's really just kicking me in the dick. And yeah, just subscribe there. Like, watch the shit. It's great. Apparently, Sam has actually watched our episode twice because he initially listened to it.
What
and
a
then
mad
he wanted
lad.
to watch it. Yeah, right? It's fucking crazy. I love that boy. I'll kiss him on the mouth one day.
Dude, who said that? Oh, I was watching Stephen Colbert the other day, and he said that to someone. He was like, when this is all over, when I see you, I'm kissing you on the lips. And I was like, oh, Vaughn. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, why are people saying this?
I said it the other day to Chris. Honestly, like, we were sitting there talking about, he gifted me Dundara, which was extremely nice of him, because I was just talking about how all the games I wanted went on sale when I didn't have any money. I was like, of course, the week that I actually get like a little bit of money, but I start a new job and everything and get out of like probationary period kind of a thing. Yeah. That's when all the holiday sales are. And I was like, fuck. No. So Chris bought me Dundara, which was really nice. And I was like, oh man, when I get to see you eventually, like we were talking about going to PAX and kind of a thing. I was like, well, we get to see you eventually. I'm going to kiss you on the mouth. And he's like, I mean, maybe a hug. And I was like,
maybe a hug.
You're getting a kiss, boy.
This guy won't even hug you. He's like on the fence about hugging.
Yeah, he's like, that's as far as I want to go. And I'm like, nah, dude, my lips on your lips. Mwah. That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to get with those wet kissies. I'm going to like...
Wet kiss? Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm going to wet my lips a little bit before I give it to you.
You gotta get the full lip.
Yeah, speaking of our shitty podcast, please leave us reviews on iTunes or any other platform that really help us out. Just comment on YouTube, because apparently that helps with the algorithm so much more. Just share our episodes around. That would be very much appreciated. And lastly, thank you so much to our patrons, which I'm going to be honest, I once again was not prepared for this either, and I did not actually pull up the patrons, so that's really fun. But we do actually have a new one, so I'm very excited to slowly bring that up after I'm done vamping. So thank you so much to Will C. You're amazing. Thank you. You're awesome. Mixomatosis, Zach Durham, Chase Hopkins, Philip Renshaw from Australia, Chris Penwell, Josh Nichols, and Sam Fillion from Canada. Thank you all so much for being patrons. You're all amazing. We love you. I'll kiss you on the mouth one day, but not today, because fucking coronavirus, dude.
Like, everybody's got them cooties.
Yeah, everybody's got them mouth cooties, you know? So they ain't want kissies. Like, I feel like that's what Chris is afraid of, is getting them mouth cooties. And I'm like, nah, dude, I ain't getting on here and just fucking let me plant one on you.
Yeah, the beard keeps it
He knows
out.
he wants the kissies. But let's talk about the games we've been playing. You've been playing a game called El Hijo by Honig Studios.
Yep. Fun fact, Honig Studios, it basically stands for honey in German. The only reason I know that is because these individuals I had an interview with, and that will be coming out later. I still need to actually edit and send that to you, Vaughn, and change up the calendar. But will be coming out. So El Hijo is a stealth game. But it's a little different. You know, in most stealth games, you would have someone who is this kind of like usually it's like a secret agent or a spy or someone, and you like stealth your way through areas. But to make it a little easier, you'll walk in, and to get through to a different area, you walk behind someone and like snap their necks, and you're like, good, now I'm free to just walk around and don't have to care. Well, in this, instead of being a secret agent, you're a 6-year-old boy. So you don't really have that power. I mean, granted, I guess a 6-year-old...
Can't go all Alien, The Last of Us, and just start fucking shanking the shit out of people?
No, you can't. You can't. It's not allowed. Unfortunately, no. But actually, it's a really cool premise with it. El Hijo is basically you're kind of like a spaghetti western. You're this little boy who was left at a monastery by his mother, who is basically this badass woman who's fighting these bandits. I don't know too deep into the story. I've played about 2/3 of it. But basically you're stuck there and you don't want to be, and you're the 6-year-old boy, because obviously as a 6-year-old boy, you don't really understand too much of like the severity of the situation. And you're just like, I don't want to be here. I want to be with my mother. So I'm going to leave. And so a lot of this is just you sneaking past these adults and getting through and making your way outward so that you can find your mother. And in that, what you're doing instead, because you're a 6-year-old child, is you don't have like a gun or anything like that, but you have rocks, you have little toys that you can wind up and distract people, and you're running through and hiding in shadows, because people can't see you if you're in shadows, and otherwise you can...
Naturally, real-world logic.
It's true. That's how it works, man. The minute it's a little bit darker in the room, people just blind. They're just like...
Every time I'm trying to sneak up behind somebody, I just crouch behind them, sun full blaze, but I'm in their shadow. They don't fucking know.
They don't see it. But no, it's a really cute little game. Like, I like the art style to it. In here, you're also a secondary objective. You're like inspiring kids to not be, I guess, oppressed by this monastery, and to try and like give them a little bit more life and joy in their life. And so as you're doing this, you're sneaking past, you're going from level to level, but in there's also harder areas where if you want to challenge yourself, you can try and get to the kids without being caught and inspire them. It's basically just clicking a button, and usually you like juggle in front of them, or you do something funny where you're like pouring water on people or something like that. Kid stuff, you know?
Just being a dick.
Being a dick. That's like kid stuff, you know? That's what they do.
Yeah, it is being a straight up asshole. Kids nowadays are just a bunch of assholes.
That's what they do. But I'm really enjoying it. I've played about, like I said, 2/3 of it, which is for me has been like 3 to 4 hours. And I've gotten a good amount of like understanding the game and different mechanics, and played with both the son and the mom, because halfway through the story you like switch between them. I enjoy it. I think that if it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's as challenging as other stealth games. Generally, this isn't my genre of choice, though. But I think if this was something where you thought the premise is interesting and you're kind of into stealth games, you'll like it. If it's like your first stealth game, this might be a good one. For those who are like hardcore stealth fans, I don't know that this is going to really like, get that appetite going of like what you're looking for. Like this probably isn't going to hit that mark. But I will say that it is very cutesy. I love the art style to it. I do like a lot of the different interactions that you have with these characters and the type of items that you have to get through. And there seems to be multiple paths and different ways that you can go to get from point A to point B. I'm really enjoying it. I would definitely recommend it, but keep in mind I did get this for free through the publisher through Terminals.io. So take that with a grain of salt. But I'd recommend it. I think it's a pretty cute game. It's relatively short because, like I said, it's right now it's 10% off until December 10th. So by the time people who aren't Patreons are listening to this, it would already be the normal price, which is $20. I think it's a little bit high for what you're getting. But if you're into stealth games, then I would say pick it up.
Okay, awesome. I remember us actually talking about El Hijo, like, I think last year when it was first announced, but it wasn't out yet. So this is something kind of cool. I remember the art style being really, really interesting. And I remember liking it a lot, but I don't like stealth games, which is kind of weird. Okay, so there's like, there's playing stealth characters, like stealth-based characters in games like, in a sense, like you could for Assassin's Creed sometimes. Like you could do that, like in the Elder Scrolls game, Fallout. Like you go into stealth. Like that's a normal thing. Yep. Stealth games are so much different than that.
Yeah, because you're forced to do it. Like there's a difference between having a choice where you could play a stealth character and be like, I'm kind of stealthy and I get a bonus damage, and now I'm gonna like charge in after I've done my bonus damage and do whatever else I want. But like this is literally, you have no main like attacks. You walk in, you throw a rock at a wall, someone goes and looks at it, then you run past, and then you have to have this little bird that like flies up. It's this one mechanic where you get to see where people are looking specifically, like where their field of vision is, and then you're like, okay, no one can see me from this angle, I'll run over here, and then you like wind up this little toy, and the toy kind of walks out, and people will like be like, whoa, what is that? And they'll go run over to that and try to squish it. This boy's
fucking prepared for everything. Jesus.
I know.
It's like fucking Macaulay Culkin some Home Alone bullshit here.
Yeah, El Hijo knows how it's done. But that being said, there's no like, all right, now I just want to attack people, I just want to punch them. Like you're not going to get that. It's a very like straightforward stealth game.
Okay, well, speaking of just straight up attacking people, and you know what? Getting sloshed. Let's talk about your experiences with Deep Rock Galactic by Ghost Ship Games.
Deep Rock Galactic is a game that it's kind of interesting. So the way that I think of it is a mix of like a crafty game, but also Left 4 Dead in some regards. You're these dwarves who are on these different missions to mine different resources, whatever it might be. So that's the very basic premise. And the way you do that is you have a number of missions that you can play, and all of these missions are different, and each day they're given to you at random, and like they might have certain modifiers to them, certain things. And so there'll be like a very basic one where it's literally you start in a map and you have to mine for a specific resource, and that's like it. It's like the level is find the resource and then get back to the ship. There might be another one where there's different pumps that you build, and you have to protect the pumps from these enemies and mine certain resources. There might be another one where you're literally hunting for a bunch of these creatures' eggs and then bringing them back to the ship. It just depends on what you're going to get for that specific run. But it's a 4-person game, and the main premise of it is you're doing this, you're mining for those resources, you're occasionally getting attacked by swarms of these bug-looking creatures who will fight you, and you have 4 different classes that you can pick, which will have different weapons and different abilities and things that you can spec into. I've been playing specifically the driller, who their main power is that they have these like metal claws that they can just drill through walls much easier than using your pickaxe. There's others where you might have a character that shoots out platforms, one that can zip line through to places really quick. But the best part of this game, hands down, is literally something that has nothing to do with the game. Now, in the game, there is this tiny section of the ship where you would basically come after a mission, and it's like your terminal where you would do all of your upgrades, all of your equipment, blah blah blah. There's this
kind of like a hub world.
Yeah, it's a hub world. It's this one small section where there's just a bartender, and so we were hanging out. It was me and a couple of friends, and we had someone who had already played the game prior, like a couple of times. So he was a high enough level where he could buy the beers, because you have to literally play it enough so that you're able to purchase certain beers. You have to have a high enough rank. And I was like, the equivalent of being underage.
Yeah, like that's so weird. It's just like in Red Dead where I have to be level 40 to buy a coat. I'm like, why?
Yes. So, which does kind of suck, because I think that's one of the best parts of the game, and you have to obviously push through it. But anyway, so you could buy these beers, and at first we were just like, we're dicking around. We're just like, buy the beers, drink them. And it's right by this like little dance hall. So we're like dancing around. We're just nothing that amounts to what the game, like you can actually do in the game, literally just jumping around, being stupid, and drinking these fake virtual beers. And then
there's a robot dwarf?
I mean, maybe that's the bartender. I
saw a robot, dude.
I don't know about the robot dwarf. I only saw, but you can customize your character, so that's probably what it is like as you level up, you unlock a bunch of equipment and other things that will change your abilities to do more damage, or whatever it is, normal like upgrade system. But then you also have just cosmetics you can buy as you level up, and different things that you can get. Like I have a big ass afro, and like at first I was wearing like just goggles or things like that, and I'm just running around in like power armor suit. Anyway, so best part though, we're drinking our beers, and then all of a sudden we notice halfway through, after a couple of beers, we're starting to get tipsy, and we were like, whoa, wait, what? And so the screen, what they do is the visualization, it gets kind of like trippy, and they like change the colors a little bit. Your character starts moving around on its own, like you're not controlling them, and they're just kind of like stumbling. And we were like, what is happening? And we kept drinking more beers. It kept getting like more drastic, where it was like the colors were starting to get more crazy. Your character's starting to like really like move around the room. And we were like, wow, we're actually kind of getting like sick, like watching this. Like it really feels like, what you would experience when you're starting to get those woozy spins from drinking too much. And we were just messing around for so long until eventually we just all passed out. We literally all of us ended up dying because we passed out from drinking way too much and woke up in the med bay. And for that reason, this game is a 10 out of 10.
Okay, when you tweeted that you were getting drunk or whatever, I thought you meant you literally were getting drunk.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
Oh my God.
Just in the game getting drunk and laughing my ass off about how silly it was. And it was funny too, because it's a friend that I was playing with, and I even made the joke. I was like, hey, thanks for buying all us underage kids those beers. But so he was playing, and he's a good friend of mine. Like I've known him since middle school. And I haven't seen him since the pandemic, obviously, because he lives in Orlando, which is like a couple hours north of me. But regardless, he's one of like my good drinking buddies as well. So it was such a nice, like obviously it doesn't mean much because it's not like we were actually drinking, but it was just like one of those moments where this was the closest to normalcy of of this world, of being able to hang out with my drinking buddy, even though it was in this stupid dwarf game. And I was just like, what a good time, man. I don't know, that like the game itself is really fun and really good, and I definitely recommend people check it out, especially because it's free on Game Pass for those who have Game Pass subscriptions. But like that drinking part of it, hands down,
you do have to have the like increased subscription, right? Because on Game Pass you have the two kind of things where you have, I believe it's like Game Pass just for PC, and then Game Pass Ultimate, which allows you to play online games. Because like I can't actually play games that require online because I don't pay for the higher subscription.
You should still have it. I only have Game Pass PC. I have the lower tier, and I can play those games. Yeah.
Okay, so this will allow you to. Like I tried to play Fallout 76 and it told me I couldn't.
Really?
Because I didn't have because I didn't essentially pay to play online.
That's weird. I mean, maybe there's certain games that do that. Because I've never run into that issue with the games that I've played. The way that I understand it is that Game Pass PC, you could play any of these games online because you're essentially doing it from the Microsoft Store, which wouldn't gate you. It would only be if you were on an Xbox console that you need that Xbox, like Xbox Live subscription.
Yeah, I kind of thought the exact same thing. No. I was like, oh, like it'll be fine. But then when like I said, when I tried to play Fallout 76, it's like, you can't play online, boy.
Weird.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
I don't. That's cool though. I'll try to hop on and play Deep Rock Galactic because my friends really want me to play with them.
You should play. And then we can play.
Honestly, if I don't have to fucking buy it, dude, I'll play the shit out of this game.
All right, we're gonna play. We're gonna get drunk.
And if I can make a little robot boy.
Yeah, you could be a robot boy. You're gonna get drunk with me. It's gonna be great.
I really love how you really made it seem like you and your friends were getting shit faced, and it was actually
we
just
were
these fucking dwarves.
We were so drunk, dude. We got so drunk we passed out. It was bad.
Oh my god,
it was bad.
This game does look dope as shit though. Deep Rock Galactic looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I need to play it more because like I've only tried a couple of missions, like probably like 7 or so, and each one of them has been generally pretty different. And there's a number of enemies and creatures that you see in certain missions and some that you don't. And then there's also apparently like 5 difficulty levels, I think. And so I'm playing on only the second one right now. So I want to see how high we could take it and see what those harder difficulties feel like. Because right now it's kind of easy. It's more of like just learning.
You're playing on baby mode?
Where one step up a baby mode. But yeah, like right now the matches aren't hard or nothing. It's interesting and we're still learning the mechanics. The one thing that I'll say is the map. Oh god, it is the worst part about that game. Is just like your map is literally you opening this very slow, like kind of like a Virtual Boy, like the just awful like 3D grid version of but that kind of Virtual Boy of just looking at just this garbage map, and you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. And so you just kind of like explore and run around, and you're just like, I never care about the map unless we're doing the egg mission where it will literally show you like a little like dot that says like, hey, come to this part, but otherwise no. But you should play.
Well, I'll have to check it out. If I can play it on Game Pass, I will actually play. Like, I'll 100% play this game because I don't have to spend $30 on it.
You should, because I'm not doing anything. So, I mean, I would be very surprised if I'm able to play it and you're not.
Okay, maybe.
And then if that's the case, then I guess get fucked.
Unto the End is coming up soon too, so I got games stacked. Also, okay, so we're gonna talk about the games I'm playing.
Let's do it.
I started Spiritfarer.
Oh,
that game is so fucking boring.
Oh no, God.
Well, it's not excessively boring. Like it's just I'm not super into management sims, so I'm gonna play it. Okay, I'm gonna finish it. I'm not gonna pull a fucking Night in the Woods.
You think you're gonna finish that? You couldn't finish Night in the Woods. You're gonna finish Spiritfarer? Get the fuck out of here.
But here's the thing. I found a way that makes it kind of worthwhile. So I was playing the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn off all the sound, and I'm going to watch YouTube videos while I play this fucking game.
Good podcast game.
It's a great podcast game. There's like 2 characters that I'm like, you're cool. Like, I like you. But there's the deer person, and I was like, you fucking suck. I'm fucking sick of you, dude.
Don't like Gwen, huh? Who do you like?
Such
do you
an
like
asshole, dude.
Yeah, they are. Do you like the frog boy?
Yeah, I like your uncle. He's so cool. I also find it really weird that they're all just basically wearing like burqas out in the world, and then they're like, you don't know who I am. Now you're gonna find out that you've known me all along. And I'm like
what?
What?
I don't even.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I look at that game and I'm like, why are you all animals? What's going on there?
Why are we the only one that's not an animal?
Why were like what is happening here? I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and then that one deer just like, I don't eat the same food twice. I'm like, then you're gonna fucking starve. Like, I'm not gonna keep making you different food. Like, this is just annoying. I gave her coffee, and she's like, fuck yeah, I got an achievement because apparently I made her the happiest she'd ever been. I was like, okay, that's cool. But then I try to give her another coffee, and she's like, disgusting. I was like, I thought you fucking... She says she never does the same thing twice, and I'm like, then how do you know you like coffee? It literally doesn't make sense. That means you've had it before. Fucking asshole. Hey, this stupid deer.
Phew, got him.
And then, like, this snake is like, oh man, I don't like that I've seen that dragon before. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, why does that matter to me that you've seen this dragon at one point in time in your life?
I hated the fact that their happiness level goes down when you do things for their story, and you're like, well, how do I keep you happy, damn it? And like, I get that's the point, is you're supposed to be pushing them through struggles in their life, but I'm like, well, why am I getting pinged for this? Like,
yeah. Like, and you save that dragon, and it's like, I'm sad that I saw it. And I'm like, you're sad that you literally witnessed me save something from your past? Dude, fuck you. But the other game I've been playing more of the Pathless by Giant Squid. So I talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I said that I was going to play more. Didn't last week, because I didn't play anything last week. And I came back, and I was like, I'm going to play more of this fucking shit. We were goofing around in the Discord, talking shit about Phil being a kangaroo, which he is. Like, sorry. Yep. Fucking classic gaming podcast trying to steal our kangaroo. I don't know what their deal is.
I know. Rude, right? Also, best part about joining our Discord server, you can make fun of Vaughn for all the games that he plays that aren't indie 100%. Games.
Yeah, that was so funny when I like started to play Fallout 4, and then I realized, I looked over, and I was just like, y'all can see that I'm not playing indie games right now.
Fucking call him out.
And then the second I boot up Fallout 4, Josh is like, not playing any.
What is that?
Yeah. It's like, you fucking bitch. So now everyone can. It's really fun. And I forget who it was. I think it was Phil judging me for playing Fallout 4. I was like, bruh, Fallout 4 is a cool game. Like, I like Fallout 4. He's like, it's okay. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I'm like, that's a good game. So I'm not judging you. But the game I have been playing, The Pathless by Giant Squid. So when we talked about this the first time, I talked about how I didn't have much to do, and that I didn't really understand what the driving force of this game was. Like, I didn't find the traversal that interesting. I kind of didn't understand what I was doing in the game because because of that, I just didn't find it very interesting. But since then, I have gotten kind of into the loop of what you do in this. So essentially you go to new plateaus each time. So you first come to this plateau, and there's this evil deer boy. That's one of the bird mamas, one of the eagle mamas, corrupted children. You have to essentially you have to break the darkness's hold on it. You have to release it from this kind of infection of like evil.
Gotta free it from
because
the
of the God Slayer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta bring it back from the Shadow Realm. And you do so by going around and completing, like, solving puzzles to get these little totems that you then take and put them in towers, like corrupted towers, that cleanse the tower. And then once you have 3 towers cleansed, you can then fight the boss. And it opens up these eyes all over them. So there's like 6 eyes on them. You then have to go through this chase sequence where you chase them through this burning lake, pretty much. Like, it's just, they've turned the entire map into cinders at this point. Like, I don't know how this shit isn't fucking burnt to hell. But you chase them, and you have to shoot their eyes to then weaken them to take it into a second stage where you fight them in kind of like an arena. So I've done 2 of these boss battles, and this was something I was looking forward to, because when we talked about it, I was like, honestly not enjoying it that much, don't find traversal that interesting, but you brought up the boss battles, and I was like, that sounds cool. Mm-hmm. Admittedly, they're fucking cool. Nice. I like them. Okay? Like, I've got my notes here. Fucking, I write on paper. Yeah, little did you know.
What an old school boy.
Yeah, my notes here. The music slaps. Reminds me of The Last of Us 2. No joke. They've got super, like, hella acoustic guitar in this, and I love that shit. Nice. It's awesome. Really adds to the ambiance of this. Like, you looking out on this plateau, once you've actually cleansed it and it's all beautiful, you've got really, really nice acoustic guitar music. It's awesome. Love it. It slaps. The puzzles are fun to solve. Honestly, 90% of the time, they're just, like, arrow puzzles, where you shoot an arrow either into a fire and try to get it into another fire to light all these fires, and then you get the totem, or you have to shoot an arrow through multiple, like, little rings to then hit a target. So you have to figure out how you can do that. A lot of the times you end up having to, like, line them up, or you have to have your eagle mama, like, go and pick shit up, which I think is It's literally the funniest thing because there are these gigantic gold bars that look like anvils. And you're like, hey, tiny bird, fucking pick that up for me. Like, it's like, you refuse to pick it up yourself. You cannot pick it up. But you're like, go pick it up. Like, and this bird just goes over, picks it up, is obviously straining itself because it can't really fly with it. It's just like, ah! And then it has to drop it where you want it to, like, you designate, you're like, drop it there, bitch. And it fucking drops it. And that generally moves something. So it'll be like, okay, this target was over here. Now it's, like, over here. And you're like, okay. And then I shoot through it. I get it. So it's a lot of just like weird kind of arrow puzzles, but I do enjoy them. There are other puzzles I've come across that aren't actually to get the totems, but instead to kind of level up your character, which allows you to get more flaps. It's kind of weird. So you like glide and you can't actually ascend without using a flap, but you have a certain amount of them that you get. So you initially only get one, so you go up like a little bit, and then you get another one, so you go up like two. It's kind of interesting. So as you level, you can get more of those. You get a decent amount of kind of experience from boss battles because you're actually trying to get enough of these to ascend to this plateau where the God Slayer is kind of hidden. So that's kind of the entire idea. And you can get more of them if you want to, which makes traversal just that much easier, and it's hilarious.
Gotcha.
I don't like these stealth sequences that happened. They just randomly happen. Like, you don't have to do them, but you can, and it helps you cleanse more of the area. But as you go through these plateaus, you'll see these like huge storms, and it actually kind of looks like Calamity Ganon, which is interesting, from Breath of the Wild. Like, it's just this storm of like red wind. It's kind of cool. And if you go into them, they actually follow you across the map. So like, if you're trying to do something, sometimes you'll just get interrupted, and you're like, fuck, now I have to do the stealth sequence. But every time you go into one, you walk 10 feet, your bird mama gets ripped away. She's like, and just gets like ripped away. And then you have to go toward her while this colossal creature that really looks like a Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus, while they slowly try to track you down with this kind of like siren's eye, where it's like, this area, if you move while you're in this area, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah, okay. So you just try to make your way over to your bird mama. You pick her up. She goes like, bah! And she like casts away all this Calamity Ganon shit. And then you got to pet the bird mama. You got to like save her from this taint. It's weird. It's like every time she gets like, as she interacts with the God Slayer's magic, it's like she gets all red. And you have to literally, like, I'm not even joking, you have to like pet her all over. It's so weird to cleanse her. So that just gets old. It gets repetitive. You do the same thing every fucking time. Like, it literally never changes. Like, honestly, I found out if I just hide behind a rock, I could pretty much get to her within 5 seconds. And it's kind of hilarious because they'll be looking and I'll be hiding behind this rock and I just slowly move like as I go. And I'm just like, you fucking dumbass. Like, it's so weird. The boss fight, okay, so the first boss fight I did, I was literally, like, on the side of this boss, and then for some reason it kept just, like, grabbing my camera and jerking it behind me, so then I'd lose my pace, and I'm like, why does it keep doing that? And it just kept happening, and it really, really annoyed me. The second boss fight I had, it didn't do that, so I think it was just a bug, honestly. But that really pissed me off, but the rest of the boss fight was honestly really, really fun. I essentially just, like, once you hit all the eyes, you go into this arena, which you then, in the first boss battle, you just have to avoid its attacks and then get in an area to where you can shoot the eyes again. Right. And once you shoot all the eyes, then your bird mama goes in and it tackles, it's like commits child abuse. It tackles its own baby.
Nice.
And you end up cleansing it.
Do you have to pet it as well?
What?
You have to pet it as well? No,
I fucking wish. I wish, like, they're gigantic creatures, so this would take forever, but if you were just like,
okay, we're just gonna have to pet this.
You scrub it for like an hour. Like, nah, dude. Only the bird mama you get to pet. Like, and she likes it. She like coos and stuff. She's like, kind of thing. Like,
I can't turkey.
Yeah, I can't coo like an eagle. She's like, meh. You just like pet her a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I know you like this bird mama.
It's getting weird.
Come on, Papa Josh. Don't
Papa Josh.
Don't come at me.
Come on down.
So I honestly kind of liked it, and I really love the imagery of each one of these. So once you cleanse them, they essentially like die in their evil forms and get reincarnated as their light forms. So when I first go after this like tainted child, and I love that I keep saying tainted because I think of taint, but that's just fucking dumb.
Nice,
yeah,
nice
that's just
sidebar.
dumb. Little Gucci.
Okay.
To be clear, I mean like Gooch.
Like the rapper, Lil Gucci.
Nah, I mean like the space of skin between your asshole and your balls. Like that's your gooch.
Oh,
that's
thank
your
you.
taint.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just a little like sidebar with Papa Vaughn about sexual.
I don't think you
stuff.
should be teaching your kids that. They'll learn on their own. They don't need you for that.
But you essentially like cleanse it of this taint, and it gains its light form again, and it's just like a beautiful deer, like a beautiful stag. It looks really, really cool. I love the imagery. The world is essentially like filled with this really clear and really cool looking water that cleanses this plateau, and then you move on to the next. You fire an arrow which clears the clouds. It's all very like, it's an experience. This game is not like heavy on gameplay, honestly, but it's very much an experience, and I like that a lot. It seems like that's what Giant Squid does well. This is very similar to what Abzu did.
Gotcha.
And then the last thing I really love about it is its attention to detail. There was a moment when I was walking through this tall grass and realized that the grass behind me was actually bending, and it kept my path through the grass. I thought it was so cool. So that's pretty much my update on the Pathless. I really like it, honestly. I'm going to beat it. I'm actually like I think I only have 2 bosses left to beat the game, but I'm not 100% certain. I might have 3. It kind of like looks like it might be a few extra, and you can actually do more puzzles to unlock more of the world. I don't know what that would achieve, but at the end of each, like, defeating a boss, a large pillar pops up where you can put more of these totems that are throughout the map. I don't know what will happen if you do that. Maybe you'll just get more lore or something. I'm not sure.
It sounds pretty good. I'm glad you're glad you changed your opinion on it after fighting those bosses.
Yeah, I've got like the hiccups now, dude.
I know. That's why I started talking, because you were just like, you were struggling there.
Yeah, I was like,
but no, it sounds pretty cool. I definitely wish this game was just the boss fights, though. Not interested in anything else.
Yeah, the traversal during boss fights is cool because you're chasing something.
Right.
But otherwise, the traversal, I'm just like, it's cool because you're just gliding across the map. And you're constantly like, but it's basically like 2 buttons. You just hold one and then you kind of flick the other one. You're like, okay, lightly hold, shoot. Lightly hold, shoot. Lightly hold, shoot. It's not really exciting. It's not gameplay intensive. But during the boss fights, you actually have to like follow their path and avoid all these flames that they shoot at you and stuff. So it actually kind of makes traversal have a little bit of weight to it. Right. And I do enjoy that. It's a lot more fun. But there's my update on the Pathless. If you enjoy it, it is only available on a PC, at least on the Epic Game Store, which Josh obviously isn't going to play it, even though we got that indie pod Epic Game Store. Of course, Giant Squid did provide us with a code, so thank you very much for doing so. I very much enjoy the game. I would recommend anybody who wants kind of an experience and really enjoys art style over gameplay, check out the Pathless. It's really cool, honestly. Oh, there was this part in one of the boss fights, though, that I forgot to write down, but it really pissed me off, where the second boss in the game, essentially, like, begins to breathe fire, and you're in this tunnel where you have to hide behind a rock here, it shoots fire. Then you move, hide behind this rock, it shoots fire. You move, hide behind this rock, it shoots fire. And you're like, okay, once the fire dissipates, I'm like, I'm going to move again. Yeah. The fire would dissipate, I would walk out, boom, hits me back. I'm like, what the fuck? And it happened like 6 times. I was fucking getting sick of it. I was like, do it again. I dare you. Do it again. So I just started going out while the fire was still there. Solid. I just got it. I was like, I don't think this is supposed to happen this way. Like, it's fucking dumb.
Close enough.
But yeah.
That's all good.
It has some bugs, but nothing egregious. Nothing like exceedingly terrible that would make me not want to play the game. So I very much am enjoying it. I really think I'm going to beat it because I think it's a lot of fun. But it is time for us to hop in to our main news stories for today. Our first main news story is over on IGN. This one is written by Wesley LeBlanc, which is actually, Yeah, he's a guy that we often interact with on Twitter. He's a friend of the Active Quest podcast. Please check out Active Quest, by the way. They're amazing. My co-host for Go Beyond, Chris Penwell, is also part of Active Quest, and they're just our friends in general. We got a little bromance going on, so check those guys out. But he writes, Silent Hill Gravity Rush creator forms a new studio with Sony Japan studio alum. So 3 Sony Japan developers. Oh my God, I'm going to butcher these names. Fuck.
What happened?
3 Sony Japan developers, Junji Okura, Kazunobu Sato, and, oh man, this one's going to be harder, Keiichiro Toyama have left the company to create Bokeh Game Studio. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I think you got it pretty well. It was close enough.
I did it. Yeah. I subjected the world to what I just did. So yeah, I feel good about myself.
Good enough.
You know, just I hope that hurt people like they hurt me when they write in about fucking French and best Australian accents. But
yeah, those accents are bad.
Yeah, I love how they made sure they said that in the Discord.
Like,
they're like, it's pretty bad. And I was like, no fucking shit.
The fuck you expecting?
You thought I was just gonna be like fucking fluent in French? Like I'm a dumbass. I'm not gonna learn another language. I'll make up one though. Like that's chill. Be like fucking J.R.R. Tolkien, just fucking make up an entire universe just so I could talk about my language.
Why not?
Which is really interesting.
Why not?
But this goes on to say Toyama, who is best known for as the director of Silent Hill and the Gravity Rush series, will serve as the studio's creative director alongside lead Gravity Rush designer Okura and Sato, who is the lead designer of The Last Guardian. The 3 will lead Bokeh as an independent game studio with the goal of rediscovering the joy in making games. The rest of this news article is basically just reiterating that fact that they're going to take some time to really find the love of creating video games again. Right. And kind of try to translate that into their games, like try to show that they're essentially trying to gain passion so that they can make a passion product, because it seems like they're kind of burnt out. The way that they keep talking about this, they're like, honestly, fucking done. Like, and now I want to enjoy my job again, which I get it, dude. I get it. So what do you think about this, Josh? I think we pretty much like covered your thoughts on new studios already, like multiple times, but I'm going to ask you again. You got Silent Hill, you got Gravity Rush, you got The Last Guardian. Is this enough to make you go like,
no. I mean, we talked about this and I saw this on the doc earlier today and I was like, shit, I'm just gonna sound like a broken record. But no, man, okay, first off, I think you hit the nail on the head. They clearly want to just get away from it and go back to their old roots of like what made them passionate about creating games in the first place, which I'm all about. Like, I think that's great. I think that is something that you should want to do if you're working on games. Like, if you're in this industry or even in general, like if you're working and you don't to some degree enjoy what you do, you should probably think about changing it. And I get it. Some people don't have that option and that sucks. But like, if you do have the option, you should fucking take it, because there's no point in spending all of your life in a situation where you don't enjoy it, because otherwise what's the point? That being said, I don't know what they're working on. I personally don't play a lot of these games from these series. So I'm like, cool. Show me what you got. Then we'll talk.
Okay, so yeah, just reiterating the points that you made last week and the week before, I believe.
Broken
every
record.
Time we talk about
broken record, baby. That's all I do.
Studio. I don't even think so, because, I mean, the one thing that I find different about this studio announcement that actually makes me excited for what they might make is not their pedigree of making great games like Silent Hill, Gravity Rush, and Last Guardian. It's that they came right out and said, we're fucking done. We have gotten burnt out by working for Konami, for like doing all of this shit, and we are making our own independent studio that kind of so that they can feel something again for what they do. They're like, we want to rediscover our love of making video games. That's what makes me excited about this studio.
Yeah,
because that is what indie games are all about. Like, them being an independent studio, that's the one thing that was a consensus in our episode 100, is that indie games are created by those who have passion for the medium. Like, passion is the one thing that makes an indie game across basically everyone's description.
Yep.
Is the love of doing so. So I think them trying to re-explore or redefine the way they look at game development easily makes me excited for what they're going to make. Because I feel like a lot of other studios, they're like, yeah, we branched off because we want to make something that we care about. I'm like, I get that. These guys are like straight up, we don't enjoy what we did before. Like, we enjoyed it at one point in time, but just kind of like slowly got bogged down by the minutia of working for a corporate company. And now we want to go out on our own and we want to make something that we love. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. You just fucking sold me. I'll play your game. Like, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't even think they've started.
No,
because they basically go through, multiple times saying that they're just trying, like, they're looking forward to what they're going to do. Yeah, so they haven't even seemingly started, but...
No, these are three people who are just like, do you want to do this? Hell yeah, let's do it. And, like, that's as far as they've gotten.
Yeah. It's like you and your friends are like, dude, should we open a bar?
Yeah,
that's essentially the stage they're at right now, is like the drunken ideas stage, but still fucking dope. I'm glad they made the leap and they're kind of searching for their passion. I very much respect that. I think it's amazing. So kudos to them. I look forward to see what their studio creates. Bokeh Games. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I just really don't know how to actually say that name. So I hope people are excited. I've heard Gravity Rush is really awesome. I've never been into like any of those series, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is like,
yeah.
I don't know. Broken record, but until you show me the game, yeah, show me what you got. Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money, boy. So let's move on to something where somebody is just straight up showing us something, but it's never going to be something we play. And that is over on Twinfinite. It's written by Grayson Morales. Once again, a friend of That There Active Quest. Great guy. He seems very, very interesting. I actually really enjoy his podcast, Positive Players Podcast.
I'm sad really awesome. That it hasn't had any new episodes in a while, because I was like, where are all these people? I didn't know that. I haven't seen it. At least maybe I'm just dumb and just didn't see any updates.
Just not refreshing on your feed or something?
Yeah. I'm just too dumb to hit the refresh button. I've just been looking at the same window. I'm like, the fuck is happening? Put more episodes.
But it has been good so far. So make sure you check out the Positive Players podcast. He writes over on Twinfinite. The uber popular multiplayer title that is Among Us is currently only available to play on PC and mobile devices. But what if it wasn't 2020 and Among Us had originally come out on the Game Boy? An animator, streamer, and YouTuber that goes by Lumpy Touch, which is just the grossest fucking name.
Let me give you that Lumpy Touch, baby.
An impressive pixel art animation for Among Us that shows folks what could have been if it released in 1990 instead of 2018. So I'm not going to go super into this, but I just want to talk about this Among Us
looks fucking cool, dude.
Game Boy. It does. It looks so dope. Honestly, I think this looks cooler than the actual game. Yeah. I feel bad saying that. I love the transitions between areas that's straight out of fucking Pokemon.
So old school Game Boy game. Yes. I love it.
It's so awesome. It slowly fades to white and then transitions into the new area. I'm like, fuck.
And I love my favorite part about it too was when I was watching this, the first thing that came to my head, I was like, how the fuck are they going to play this on a Game Boy game? This is a multiplayer game.
It is the Link thing?
And they do the Link. Yeah, they did the animation for the Game Boy Link thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And I was like,
yeah,
that was so cool, man. I love when people create shit like this. Because it's like, well, like, you know, there's no real point. Like, they're never going to make this. Like, this is just some fan who was just like, this is a cool idea. I want to do this. And it's just so interesting. I wish I had an ounce of talent that these people do.
Would you, I mean, I don't think you've ever actually played Among Us, and neither have I, but would you play it if it had a Game Boy aesthetic, or you just like, I mean, that's not going to sell me on it. I don't want to play a social deception game either way, but this is cool.
No, I'm not good at those type of games. I suck at lying.
You're not a liar?
I am so bad at lying. You can see through my lies. It's just bad. So I just
like every time you say you don't like card games, I'm like, I fucking dude shut your mouth. I know
card games are the worst. Let me all right. You see me, people? Card games, the worst. Anyway, no, I suck at lying. I can't do it. I'm generally, and in a lot of games, I'm not the type of person who wants to play like against each other type of games. Like I like PvE for a lot of things. I'd rather do that style of combat for many games. So for me, Among Us wasn't like a selling type of like, I was like, "Rrr." But this Game Boy aesthetic looks pretty sexy though. I will say that.
Yeah, it looks dope. I love the massive amount of nostalgia in this. I would still like, my friend bought me Among Us so that I can play with him, which is like, it's $5. So, but he bought me Among Us. I have still yet to play. That was like 2 months ago.
Damn. I always feel bad when someone does that for me. Someone bought me, what was it? Factorio. And I played it with him once. And then I was like, this is not my style of game. And so I just always kind of like, anytime he's like, you want to play this game? I'm like, let's play something else, you know? Fine.
Let's play Deep Rock Galactic. Like, let's get drunk as dwarves.
Let's just get drunk as dwarves, you know? Come on. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, I love the Game Boy aesthetic. I think it's really cool. Admittedly, there weren't a massive amount of news stories, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna huck this one in there. I'm going to try to get some like gaming culture in there. But are you trying to fix your camera?
Yeah, dude, fuzzy as fuck. What is happening right now?
Yeah, it was like when you moved, it focused on that point.
Motherfucker, focus again. I hate this camera, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's see if I can. Wait, hold up. We're gonna take a quick pause here.
So you can pop off. So you're like, I gotta fix this shit. This is pissing me off.
It is pissing me off, dude. I don't know why it's doing this.
That's why I don't move. Keep it right here.
Keep it right.
You ain't gonna see shit.
Let me see if I can do this. No, it's not gonna do shit. It's not gonna do shit.
I'll just cut this part out. Don't worry.
I know. Yeah. I gotta. I wish there was a way to. Fucking focus on me, you bitch. No, I don't know. I don't know how to change that. Because there's no like focus thing on this camera. Oh wait, is that it? No, because that's focusing on this hand. I don't know. If only there was a way for me to like back my hand into my face. Oh. Hell yeah, dude.
I think you did it.
The tricks.
If only there was a way I could back my hand into my face.
I think we keep this part in.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, baby. I love it. Like, if only there was a way to do this, so then you just.
And then it happens. You
fucking grabbed it.
The fucking genius. I grabbed focus and put it on my face.
So impressed.
Magnificent, some might say.
So our next news story is over on Nintendo Life, and this is our last one. This is the sequel to Cyberpunk bartender game Valhalla, delayed indefinitely. This is written by Liam Doolin. I'm so glad you're alive, Liam. So glad alive.
We've got that's three for three great writers that just back to back. These are bangers of articles.
Fuck, that's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah. I didn't even do that on purpose. We didn't have like a massive amount to talk about this week, so I was like, I'm just going to like throw shit in there.
Nice.
Honestly, I'm surprised we've gone this long into news stories. Like, we just kind of talked about some bullshit at the beginning, but we're going to have so many fucking questions that it's just going to elongate the episode. So I'm not worried. But
it's going to be a big one.
This specific article is over on Nintendo Life. Like I said, written by Liam Doolin. Glad to know he's alive. 2020 is a scary place.
It's true.
And Liam writes, there have been ongoing video game delays throughout the year, and it seems it's set to continue in the month of December. Joining the various other titles that have been pushed back in 2020 is Nirvana Cyberpunk Bartender Action by developer Sukeban Games. I don't know if I said
I like how you always have a different like accent you try with these things. It's always either very like slow, like or some weird cutesy voice that you try with it.
You just gotta try shit out.
You're like, I'll just make it sound weird so that if I fuck it up, people don't think it's that wrong.
Exactly. I'm glad you followed my train of thought there.
He's just doing a silly voice. He's not saying it wrong.
Yeah, he's doing that on purpose. And I'm like, nah, fuck it though. So if the name sounds oddly familiar, it's because it's the sequel to Valhalla, a cyberpunk bartending action. It seems the game will no longer launch this year and will now arrive when it's done. When it's done. The team is looking to shift its focus, and while production won't stop, once again, air quotes, won't stop, this particular game will no longer be its main promotional focus. This is a quote. For the time being, we're changing Nirvana's release date to an indefinite one, and we'll start shifting our public push towards other projects. Nirvana's production won't stop or slow down, but it also won't be our main promotional focus for a while. Or for an even shorter version, Nirvana's release date is now WID, when it's done, and we might have other projects to announce in the coming months that will come earlier than Nirvana. So
this is such a PR response.
Yeah, because I don't know how you can say that it's not going to slow down, but you're going to work on something else.
I think it's hilarious because they're almost in the same sentence saying nothing has changed, but everything is different.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, it seems like you're giving us two conflicting ideas.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can say that with a straight face. Like, it's so weird to me. But apparently this has been delayed indefinitely. Don't you worry. It's not going to stop. It's not going to slow down. Nope. The two possible things that it could do, it's not going to do fucking either of them, but they're just not going to talk about it. Like, it's not going to happen. So, how do you feel about indefinite delays? That was the real thing I wanted to talk about with this, is games getting their release date taken away and slabbed with, like, a when it's done or when Odin decrees it kind of a thing. Like, how do you feel about that? Because there's specifically, like, Dying Light 2. Indefinite delay. Nobody knows when that shit's gonna fucking come out. How do you feel about games? Like, does it hurt your excitement of the game when it gets an indefinite delay, even though it's possible that the game still might come out?
Yeah, so it does. And this is so it's interesting to me because if you start with well, I guess you can't start with an indefinite delay, but
you just never give a release date.
When you start with, like, you'll see sometimes with indie games that will literally say when is it coming out, like the release date, and it's like when it's ready. And you're like,
I love that.
Okay, whatever. Okay. And yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm fine when they do that style. But when you're saying, we had this set date, this is what happened, and then just one day you're like, actually, we'll get back to you on that. It just seems really weird because clearly something that is a big impact, something that has heavily impacted your studio, your game, and then you kind of just like brush it under the table. You're just like, we don't want to talk about it. It'll come out eventually. And so this is what I kind of got on with the Cuphead thing is like, don't get me wrong. I understand it. I understand delays, especially with 2020. This year has sucked for many reasons. And like for game development, I am not surprised that people have to push things back. But the difference is saying indefinitely delayed versus like having some kind of roadmap or like time frame. Like, we understand a lot of these delays now, like, although we're still in this boat of like 2020 sucks and the coronavirus sucks and like, whatever, we're at a state of normalcy where like we understand remote work a lot better than we did before, or at least we should have a better handle on understanding our throughput of how development works now in this different time. And so it's like, can it really just be like, I don't think you get to just say like, yeah, it's just because of the pandemic. Now we're indefinitely delayed. And it's like, well, what's going on then? What's the real reason? Especially now if they're saying, oh, well, we also have another project that we're coming on and we're not changing anything with this. And like, there was in this article mentioned that there's probably something more to the nature of like disagreements inside the actual the studio, or like development slowdown that they didn't anticipate. And like, that's fine. But like, an indefinite delay just seems like they're scrapping the project. Like, whether they say that they're still like, oh, we're still full steam ahead, like, yeah, you're saying that, but you also put an indefinite delay on it. So like, I'm not going to be excited for a game until I know there's an actual window of it, of opportunity, and it's going to come out. It's the same concept of this thing with the studios. Like, if you don't have the thing in front of me to be excited about, I can't get excited. What am I gonna like? Cool, like this game might come out eventually. It might come out today. It might come out 5 years from now. And like I'm not just gonna be fucking hyped about a game that comes out 5 years from now. Like I'll be hyped when it's like a couple months out, you know?
Yeah, indefinite delays really hit me where it's like I kind of just wish you never announced a release date, because there are things like Hollow Knight Silksong, super stoked. It can come out whenever the fuck it wants. It can wait years. I don't give a shit. But if they gave a date and then took the date away, like a delay to 2021, I get that kind of a thing. Fine. Like that.
Yep.
That checks out. Like there's no expectation that's taken away, kind of a thing. Like you aren't hurting my expectations for your game.
Yeah.
But giving a release date or a release window and then saying delayed indefinitely, that makes me think like this is going the way of the dodo. I'm never going to see fucking Dead Island 2. Like, no. It's never going to happen. Like I feel like saying delayed indefinitely is almost, it feels like a death sentence.
Yeah, it feels like they're canceling the project. Especially with the fact that they just announced are saying they're going to announce these other ideas. It's like, okay, well then you can't be a studio that's working the exact amount on this thing, but also have these other projects on the side that you're doing at the same rate. Like something's got to change.
Yeah, it's all kind of weird. So I enjoy the idea of approaching a project and being like, it's done when it's done.
Yeah,
like 100%. Hell yeah, dude. I'm totally chill with that. You say it's done when it's done. I get it. I'm not going to bother with it. The second you take away a release date, like just in general, moving a release date and delaying it, 100%, that's cool. Like everybody understands. It's awesome. I love the jokes about Cyberpunk was never actually in development. I think that's hilarious. But like the jokes that come out of it are really funny, but I get delays. Everybody understands delays, especially in 2020.
It's tough.
But taking a release date away is it's so weird.
Right.
It's like, this game's never coming out, dude.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
But that is our last news story. So it's time for us to hop into news. Cram. I don't know yet what I'm going to do for the video versions of this, because I just didn't cut anything out, because I was like, maybe I'll put up a graphic. That didn't happen. So, News Cram is our weekly wrap-up segment where we, the hosts of IndiePod and Indie Games Podcast, cram you full of all sorts of indie games news. This week, we don't have any quick news stories or any new deals or quick steals, so we're pretty much just hopping over into new stuff. There's going to be a small tangential new deal or quick steal kind of a thing. If you're listening to this currently, you can get Cave Story Plus completely free over on the Epic Game Store. Head over there, get it. It's awesome. This is another reason why you should join our IndiePod Discord, because we've already talked about this. Josh brought it up. And make sure you follow us at IndiePod on Twitter, because I'm going to tweet about it after this episode. Get free games. It's awesome.
Free games are great.
Now we're going to head into new stuff, and you're absolutely correct. Free games are great. That's why I might play Deep Rock Galactic. Our first 4 items of new stuff come away in Nintendo Life, where it's reported that indie fighting game Rivals of Aether by Dan Fornes? I don't know.
Sure.
Is getting a physical release on the Nintendo Switch through limited run games, with pre-orders going live on December 11th. They have a collector's edition of this that comes with a Beetle Boy statue.
Oh, my God.
I'm really thinking about it. It's like $85. I'm like, I can't justify the purchase of that, but like, it's so cool.
You need to stop. You need to stop.
Love me some Beetle Boys. That horror JRPG Amori by Omocat LLC is headed to PC on December 25th, 2020. That game looks dope as shit. I would recommend everyone check it out, especially if you are fans of Undertale or Earthbound. It looks very much like it, but it actually has a horror tint. Looks really, really interesting. I'm not like a horror guy, but I just think the visuals look really cool. Now, that roguelike card game, Cultist Simulator by Weather Factory.
Someone say something interesting?
Have you ever played Cultist Simulator?
No, I've seen it before, and I've been interested in it, but I've never dived into it.
Okay, well, it seems like it might be your deal, because it's a roguelike cart game. It's Cultist Simulator by Weather Factory. Is headed to the Nintendo Switch in February of 2021, but it is available on PC already, so you can play some card games. You know what's up. And lastly, the top-down twin-stick shooter Gunpig Firepower for Hire by La Pointe Joints is now available on the Nintendo Switch. Now over on Twinfinite, where it's reported that investigation sim The Good Life by White Owls Inc. is headed to PC in the summer of 2021. Now over on IGN, where it's reported that top-down battle arena shooter Axolotl by Daniel Piqueras Constantine, I don't know how to fucking say it, is headed to Steam sometime in 2021. And to round out the group, over on GameSpot, it is reported that casual platformer Pixel Junk Eden 2 by Q Games Ltd. is headed to the Nintendo Switch on December 10th. And lastly, that Evil Empire and Motion Twin have announced that the Fatal Falls DLC for Dead Cells will be entering early access sometime early next year. So, Big Josh Boy, we've been blessed with so many amazing indie game news stories that I think it's about time we give back to the creators. In our next segment, God Bless the Crowd, this is where the biggest of average Josh Boys hops into all sorts of crowdfunding sites, find something awesome for us to talk about, and we do just so. This one does not surprise me at all that you picked it. Honestly, I saw this the other day. I actually talked about this in News Cram the other day, and I was like, this looks like something Josh would play. This is Metal Tales Overkill. This is over on Steam. They describe it, at least in a sentence, as an action-adventure game where metal and adrenaline clash to give you the 3D roguelike guitar shooter experience of a lifetime. So, Josh, what do you think about Metal Tales Overkill?
It's the worst.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. No. This looks very much...
I call bullshit on that, dude. Because they literally reference Binding of Isaac as an inspiration for this game.
I will admit, I put this in before I even read. Like, I looked through and quickly did this, and I was like, this looks like I just watched the video, put it in, and I was like, I'll review it later. And so I reviewed it earlier this morning before the episode, and I saw the Binding of Isaac thing, and I was like, I'm going to get shit for this.
That it's a mix between Binding of Isaac and Brutal Legend, and I was like, that's actually watching the trailer, I was like, those are actually the two games that I would have picked out that this looks like.
Yeah.
So
see, this
that's
is like
not surprising at all.
Me and Joseph Yaden getting mixed.
That's what I thought. I was like, fucking Joseph would probably like this game because he loves Brutal Legend. He just loves metal in general.
Yeah.
And I especially think the inclusion of real bands, like real metal bands, would actually kind of get him going. Mm-hmm. But I'll let you talk about it. You just go ahead. What you think?
So as you said, this is a roguelike guitar shooter. So it's interesting they use 3D because it seems more like top-down, very like flat in some ways.
It looks isometric.
Yeah, it's an isometric, but I guess they're just using 3D as like 3D models-ish. That being said, it looks very much like, if you know Binding of Isaac, very much that way of being in a room, dodging bullets that things are shooting at you shooting your own bullets at enemies, whatever that means. In this case, you have guitars and you're shooting like laser beams out of the guitars, which is kind of crazy, but cool, because why not? The game seems wacky as fuck. Like, it just seems like very much a Brutal Legend, or if you know, like the Adult Swim cartoon, I think it was Death Clock, I think it was called.
Oh shit! I actually know what you're talking about, but I totally forget what it's called.
Yeah, so it reminds me a lot of that. I'm pretty sure it's Death Clock.
Are you talking about Metalocalypse?
Metalocalypse, yeah. Was Death Clock the band's name? Or was that one of the songs?
I think so. I think it was. I think that was the band's name, Metalocalypse.
All right. Yeah, Metalocalypse. Which was also a good show. That being said, I'm not crazy about the art. Like, that's the one thing I'll say is the art style to it looks a little like, I don't know, too cartoony. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but it's just looks a little off for me. But the actual mechanic to it reminds me, like I said, a lot of Isaac, which obviously they draw inspiration from, which I think is great. And I love Isaac games. I love the fact that they have, let me see in here, very similar to Isaac, a ton of different enemies, a ton of different power-ups and items and weapons and like summons and different things. So this goes into my whole thing about like a roguelike. The reason why they're so good is because of the variability, the replayability, the different combinations that you can try to put together. And obviously I'm not talking like I know the game, because maybe there's not that much of synergies and maybe there's not too much unique combinations with this, but it seems like they're getting to that with all of the different items that they're having or talking about. Gameplay wise, I think it looks pretty fun. I'd love to dive in and check it out. And if you are a collectibles type person or like physical goods, they have a ton of interesting little things. They have the mug, which looks cool. They have the guitar pick, the t-shirt. Like, I like a lot of the different actual things. They got that like sticker book, looks pretty nice.
They have a fucking guitar.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to pay that much money,
like, it's an exclusive, customizable metal Tales Overkill guitar. All you have to do, give them $6,000.
I think it's already gone though.
It is. It is all gone, it is but gone. Still, that's a crazy fucking tier.
Yeah, but I mean, you're paying $6,000. The least they could do is give you a guitar.
They only offered one.
Yeah, one backer.
There was only one. And that honestly makes sense because they were backed in 8 hours, and that's a $6,000 tier, and their goal was $6,000.
Yep. They just wanted to sell that guitar, and they're done.
Which I guess I actually forgot to mention, of course, Metal Tales Overkill. They were looking for $6,061. They currently have $9,072 with 46 backers. 25 days left to go. Is developed by Zero Uno Games. But yeah, just that one tier. The one person was like, got it. Do you think they didn't notice that? They were like, fuck.
I don't know, man. I mean, granted, I feel like for a lot of these Kickstarters, they want to make it regardless if they're like, sometimes you want to put a lower tier because you don't want to scare people from it being too high of a goal, and like getting people who are in that mindset of like, oh, this isn't going to make it, I'm not even going to give my money to them. So sometimes it's better to have a lower goal and then just get to the higher amount based on those different tiers and like, you know, the stretch goals. But yeah, I don't know. It is kind of funny that it's just like literally the about US dollar amount is 6,061 for that guitar, and their pledge goal, the amount that they wanted to hit, is 6,061. So it's literally they just needed one person to buy their guitar so that they could fund their game.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They got it. And then later on, they're going to add like language packs as a stretch goal and stuff. So I think that's cool. What do you think about Kickstarters or games doing multiple Kickstarters? What's your idea on that?
What do you mean multiple?
So there's a game called, what was it called? I'm trying to remember. There are essentially some games that will do a Kickstarter to get them going and everything. They start making the game, and to finish the game, they have to launch a second Kickstarter. Yeah.
I guess it's fine because you could get...
Oh, Don't Give Up. That's what the game I was thinking about.
Yeah.
He did 2 or 3. I think he did 2.
Yeah, I guess it's fine because like at some point you need more money, and that's like bad planning and it sucks. But like I also don't want to say like you should give them a shittier game than what you promised originally. And like I guess it's fine as long as you're not asking the same people to also back more money into it. Like it should be new people who you're like, hey, I've already had a Kickstarter, like other, and you know, probably people will still chip in, which is the shitty part about that, because then you have more people who are like backing. But like it's the same way that investments work, right? Like when you are an investor, you'll give some amount of money, and then a person might come back and negotiate with you and say like, oh, well, I need more because of XYZ, like certain things change, or I didn't realize that, you know, this was going to be such a struggle to create this process or this mechanic or whatever it might be. So like it's kind of shady, but like I get it. There's some times where it's going to happen. It just feels really weird and kind of dirty.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I always thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The multiple Kickstarters. This one, I think it's kind of cool. Honestly, while watching the gameplay, I was like, this looks like it would be really hard to shoot. Like the way the person was doing it. I was watching the trailer and I was like, the game looks like it would be kind of hard to play, so I don't know if this person's just bad at it or if the game is hard.
I don't know,
because they were missing so much, and I was like, bro, just fucking shoot them.
Because I'm assuming that this is using like the WASD and then your mouse to position where you're shooting, and because the areas are so large, it makes it so you're going to be more likely to miss because there's more space for you to be wrong at. But it also looks like you kind of need it because a lot of these areas are so large because it's very bullet hell style. And I feel like a lot of it is, I'm trying to avoid so much on the screen, and more of this game seems like the focus is to shoot wildly in directions and just worry about not getting hit half the time, at least from the way that I'm looking at it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I think it's cool. I think the entire concept of like the metal gods getting corrupted by like darkness and then spreading it to the rest of metal fans, I think that's kind of cool. The co-op is kind of interesting.
I wish it was online co-op though, because I'm pretty sure
it's only
LAN? I'm pretty sure it's only local co-op if I'm not mistaken.
That sucks. Yeah, they offer co-op play like a ghost with invulnerability but with reduced movement and attack capacity, which, I mean, if you're invulnerable, why does it matter if you have reduced movement?
Right, I don't know.
You're not avoiding anything, you're invulnerable. And, like, you have reduced attack capacity? Yeah, because you can't get fucking hit. Like... What? Yeah, and then the ghost mode, use part of your life to resurrect your colleague. I think that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think the game looks cool. I like the aesthetic. I think it looks really interesting. It obviously reminds me a lot of Brutal Legend. I honestly, like, first when looking at it, I was like, did they just remake Brutal Legend? But then I remembered Brutal Legends is actually kind of an RTS. So I was like, nah, okay, they didn't. I think the inclusion of actual bands, like Sifting, I don't know, what is this one called? The Darkest Road? Or, I don't know, a breach of silence or a breath of silence. I don't know. A lot of these fucking things are actually hard as fuck to read because they, for some reason, wanted the weirdest font.
Yeah, that font is pretty bad.
Then I'm just like, what? Why did you have to put the R the other way? Like, I just want to read the name of your fucking band, bro. But I think it's cool that they actually included a lot of different actual metal artists. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. Any last thoughts you want to get in on Metal Tales Overkill before we move on to our listener questions, the abundance of them that we have?
No, I mean, if you're a metal fan, like, there's a lot of good music in this. If you're a roguelike fan, if you like Binding of Isaac, you should probably check it out. It looks pretty cool.
Okay, awesome. Sounds great. So it's time for us to move on to our last segment of the podcast. These are our listener questions. Of course, you can put in your listener question on our question thread that I try to make sure I tweet out. You can be a patron and actually put your questions on there, or you can just easily join our Discord. I posted that on Twitter, but I will continue to do so. I'll try to maybe add it to our pinned tweet to make it a little bit easier for people to join. But you could do so in a bunch of different ways. You can also write in to our email address, indieincursionpodcast@gmail.com. You can write them in there. Similar to some people do that, like Robert did, just to make sure that I knew to watch this fucking anime. But also, he wrote in about, like, he wrote a letter about his philosophy behind if a hot dog is a sandwich. And essentially wrote in saying, if you initially think when someone says something that they sound stupid, then it probably doesn't make any sense. Like, when somebody says, is a hot dog a sandwich? Technically, yes, it would be a sandwich. His idea was like, but it's so dumb that it shouldn't be a sandwich. Like, you wouldn't think, yes, it's a sandwich. And then I was like, yeah, but every great thinker in history was thought to be a fucking idiot, and they turned out to be right. So he got fucking dunked on.
Damn,
sorry, Robert.
Big brains.
Get dunked on. That's why the first thing I said in the fucking IndiePod Discord when he joined, I was like, yeah, Robert just got dunked on, RIP. Like, he did. But Samuel Fillion writes in and says, what is your favorite holiday-themed level/DLC in a game? I would say Undertale's Snowden Village, but my absolute fave is, yeah, sorry, that totally, like, threw me off. Because I watched Snowden the other day. I was like, yeah, fucking. Great guy. But my absolute fave is Hitman's Blood Money. What? Hitman Blood Money's Mountain Lodge Infiltration. That is such a long name. Is that a real thing? Oh my god. There is something special in wearing old Saint Nick's costume to assassinate naughty people. The weirdest way to point that, to say that. So do you have a favorite holiday themed level/DLC?
Yeah.
And what is up with this sickness that's spreading that is holiday cheer? Because it's fucking disgusting. Let's be real.
Get your fucking Scrooge ass out of here. You're such a bitch. Such a bitch. You don't like eggnog. You don't like holiday music.
All fucking sucks, dude.
I don't know.
Eggnog is just like mold in a cup. Holiday music
so
fucking
good.
sucks.
No.
It's disgusting.
You're so
like,
wrong.
I fucking hate holiday music because I was just
So-
like,
Get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
fucking hate it.
Man, you got a month. Relax. Favorite holiday
Just have
theme.
to endure it.
Endure it. Favorite holiday theme is, I would say, from Kingdom Hearts, both 1 and 2, Halloween Town. I am a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan, and I loved the fact that I was able to play a game where I was living in the world of one of my favorite movies. I would definitely say, like, I'm not a crazy, like, I don't really care too much about Halloween, to be honest. Like, I'm very much more of like the Christmas time holidays that I'm like, I love them. But there was something about living in that world and being able to like be a part of, you know, that town. Like, I don't know. It was just, it was pretty special as a kid, being able to play that. So I would use that as my example.
I don't actually know that I have one because, as I pointed out, I do not enjoy holidays
Scrooge,
that much.
man. You're such a Scrooge.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not a big holiday guy. Like, I thought, I think Destiny does holidays in a really interesting, like, they do, I believe it's like they do Crimson Days, which I think is really cool. It's for Valentine's Day. And I believe the way it works, because I've never actually participated in this. I don't often hop in for holiday events, but the entire idea around it was that you and another person become each other's Valentines, and you have to play the game together to actually unlock specific rewards and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool, an interesting way to do that. I play a lot of MMOs, and I think the holiday events in them are often pretty interesting, the way that they come in. Typically, they do, like, I believe in World of Warcraft, it's called, like, the Dark Moon Festival. I think that's kind of cool, to where you, like, get certain types of currency, and then you can unlock stuff. In ESO, they did something vaguely similar as well for Halloween, and I believe they're doing something for Christmas as well. So I always find the holiday-themed kind of expansions or updates for MMOs really interesting, but they've never, like, I'm just not a holiday guy. I think they're cool, but I just don't give a fuck.
Get the fuck out.
Podcast over. So, Retro Cemetery Drew writes in and says, what is a feature you never see in games that you would love? Example, Phantasy Star 4 is a huge RPG on the Genesis. You can talk to members of your party and they'll have a conversation with you about what you're supposed to be doing. It's great if you take a break and forgot. More, please. So, Josh, what is a feature in a game that you wish... Seemingly, this question is like, what's a feature in a game that you kind of miss and wish it was in more games?
Yeah. So I was racking my brain about this. I like can't think of mechanics that I like because I'm an idiot. I mean, because obviously I'm a huge roguelike fan. Everyone knows that. And so for me, it's all about the different variety in games. So I really like synergies. I think my favorite thing about games is when you have you're given these certain abilities or these certain items, and it's like, oh, I'm having fun using this sword. And it's cool, and I get to slash people, whatever. But then you're like, oh, and then now I get to slash people, whatever. But then you're like, oh, wait, there's this firestone or whatever the fuck. And now my sword is on fire, and now I have this fire damage. Like, whoa, like I love when things are combined into a game that, like, by itself would kind of probably just not be as interesting, but then combined together, you're like, wow, this is so cool. Like, here we go, talking about Isaac. One of my favorite things about Isaac is when you're playing that game, you'll get these different power-ups and you'll get these different combinations that when put together are so much cooler, and you wouldn't have thought about that. Like, you can get this thing called Mother's Knife, where instead of shooting your normal, like, crying tears out, you just throw a knife that comes back to you. And so you can also get this thing called Brimstone, which is a charge shot. And so I'm pretty sure this is the one, but there's this way where what you get is it turns into a charge shot where when you're done with the charge, it's just like a million daggers that fly out instead of like the normal way. And it's like synergies like that are so cool because you don't get to see them that often. But when you do, it's like nuts and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, I love that kind of stuff. And then the other thing I think would be just, I want more options in games, especially with like, I'm a really big fan of Fallout games and games where you can spec into like heavy RPG mechanics. Where I love games where you have the option to do whatever you want in them, where there's more of like being able to talk your way out of situations or get other people to do things for you. Like, I love those type of mechanics in games, and I want to see that more. Obviously, that doesn't translate as well to a lot of games, but I'd love to see, like I love those play the style that you want in games, right? You kind of mentioned it where you were like, being a stealth person is kind of cool, but like, I don't want to always do that. Right? Like, it's playing the game that you want. I really enjoy when there's those types of styles in games. It's, like I said, hard to translate in certain types of games, but I still really appreciate when I see that because you get that variety. Like, that's like the biggest thing for me is just variety in games.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like the big allure for like Disco Elysium.
Right.
Seemingly for you was the option to play the game however you wanted. Like, and how small, minute changes might change the game in a very big way. Like, I totally understand. I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, nope. I definitely get that. And I would also enjoy to see that in a lot more games. It seems like you very much enjoy builds in games. And I think that's kind of interesting. Like, the strategic way you build a character. I always found that really interesting that you were like into that.
It's weird. It's weird because like I like it to a point where I enjoy it when it's kind of thrown at me, like forced upon me. Like, I like working with what I've got. Sort of like this is my conversation about like card games of like why I like Slay the Spire versus something like Hearthstone of I like when you're just like, here, you got these abilities or you got these cards, fucking figure it out. And like, it's on the spot, kind of like, okay, what's gonna work well? And I have to like think about it, but like, I don't want to sit there and just spend so much time like calculating and planning it, right? Like, I'd rather it be a build that I'm given a few abilities and I have to find out like, okay, what will work best, or like, what's the smartest thing to do in this situation?
Yeah, that is really cool. I do like that. It's like the build system. You have to worry about your build, but it's also kind of like improvisation is a large factor. Yeah. Your ability to improvise in situations is a very big factor to your overall gameplay experience. I think that's really cool. So our next question. Oh no, I actually didn't answer.
Yeah, what was yours?
Excavation. I think excavation is so cool. I've talked about this a million times. Fucking Spectrobes, Fossil Fighters. Hell yeah, dude. The Underground and Pokemon. I want to dig up more shit. Fuck yes. Let's do it.
Really barking for that SteamWorld Dig 3, huh?
No, not that.
Okay, so too much digging.
Yeah, that's just straight digging. It's kind of like how
that stealth game thing we were talking about.
Yeah. It's kind of like how I want more games that have photography in them, like Beyond Good and Evil and Dead Rising, but I don't want to play a photography game. I feel like it's the same thing with your, like, I don't like card games thing.
Yeah, no, it is. I get it. Because I get it too.
I understand your argument.
I think it's funny, though, because I hate, like, I'd rather play a photography game than have a game with photography points in it. Like,
really, I always thought it was so much fun, like gaining experience from taking dope ass pictures in Beyond Good and Evil and Dead Rising. I was like,
I hate it so much. It breaks the pacing of games. It's just like, I hated that. Like, I love BioShock. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite games, one of my favorite series. But in BioShock 2, when you have to take those pictures and you have to like kind of, it's the same thing with BioShock 1, but like you're taking these pictures of like random enemies and doing this in the game. And I'm like, can I just play the game? Like, why do I have to stop and take these pictures every time? And I have to remember to take this picture. And I'm like, it's just a chore. Like, I don't want to take these pictures. If it was a game where it was like, go on BioShock and you literally, like, it was all about just going through and cataloging different parts of BioShock, I'd be like, cool, that's what this game is about. But like, otherwise, I'm just like, fucking, can you just give me the experience and like whatever I need from this and just not take these stupid pictures and just let me play the game?
Yeah, I get it. So Chris Penwell writes in and says, 2 questions, if you don't mind, as you are in dire need of them, apparently. Because I always put out that we're in dire need of questions.
I mean, sometimes we do.
Yeah, sometimes you really need them. Other times you have a shitload. So, first question. We've seen accessibility options in games like Grounded, which has an arachnophobia mode that removes spiders. What would you like to see more, or what would you like to see more in the future?
Yeah. So I think this one is like really cool because when I'm thinking about accessibility options, I never think of something like this. I wouldn't, and granted, this is a pretty big one. Like, people are scared of big spiders. I had
a dream about spiders the other day. I still really can't sleep.
Yeah, I hate spiders so much. But that being said, I can't think of anything because for me, a lot of the times I don't have a lot of accessibility concerns. Like, I'm usually pretty fine with how games are, except for I think I wish there was something, and I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's me or if it's just like getting older and I just can't play these games. But like, I've talked about it before. I have this weird thing with first person shooters, certain games where like I just get nauseous from playing them. Like, the motion of swinging back and forth and looking at things, just after an hour of playing, I just feel like I want to puke my brains out. And I don't know what it is. So there's certain games, like I had to put down the Half-Life remake. I really wanted to go through it, but I just kept getting nauseous. So I was like, well, that's it for me. And like, I don't know what it does. I'd love to see something that's fixed. Maybe there's already something out there and I'm just too, dumb to figure it out. But I would say the actual like accessibility thing that I think of all the time is subtitles, because I generally like to actually read as opposed to listen when I'm hearing a lot of things. Like, I do it with TV and shit anyway. It's honestly because my eyes are a lot better than my ears. Like, I don't hear very well, but I've got great vision, so it's a trade-off.
Same.
But I know, and it's funny because you're wearing glasses, so it doesn't seem like that. But
to be clear, I said this to Josh. These are blue light glasses. They're not actually glasses. Right. It's just to make sure I don't get headaches when I sit here in front of my computer. Because I realized, like, when I started PC gaming, I wasn't used to the amount of blue light, so it'd give me like really bad headaches.
Yep.
So then I started wearing some blue light glasses, and now I don't get headaches.
Yeah.
I also have to wear them at work too now, since I work on a computer.
Yeah, if you're doing it all day. Yeah, I don't know. I've just gotten used to it. Maybe it's bad for me. Whatever. I have good enough vision still, so fuck it. I'll ride
I feel like it's fine. I'm 20/20. Like, if I'm blind when I'm 60, it's fine.
I'm 2010 or whatever it is. I'm the better than 2020. I'm great. I'm not to brag, but I went to an eye doctor years ago, and he was like going through like the whole eye check, and he was like, "Hey, you got great vision." He's like, "The only person that I've seen with this great vision, the two of them, the people were snipers in the military." And I was like, "Oh, I picked the wrong career then." But so he was like, "See me when you're 40. Like, you're not gonna have any eye issues." Like, I'm riding on it, But the only thing I'm just coasting,
like,
man.
I can afford to lose a couple numbers, like I can afford to go a little blind. Like, I've got this in spades.
Yeah, when I'm 40, I'll be eating that though. But the only thing I would say then, because of that, is like subtitles. Like, make them bigger, make us be able to change them, like to change the size of the text, to maybe even change the font of the text, because sometimes that shit sucks and like I don't want their built-in system. Like, that is
or the color
that is like super important, and people don't think about it because there's a lot of people who don't use it. But like, every time, there's a couple of things I do when I start a game, and it's always turn all the subtitles on and turn the volume way down, because for some reason 100 volume on every game is just like way too damn loud. Those are the two things that I always do.
My hearing's so bad. Like, it's so funny. My wife listens to TV shows like on 15, and then I pop in there. I'm like, let's kick that shit up. How loud do you think I go?
All right, I'm gonna go.
She listens on 15. What number do you think I end up on?
All right, I'm gonna go drastic. I'm gonna hit 40.
65.
Whoo, damn.
I turn it up so loud because otherwise I'm like, I can't hear it. Like, they're whispering. The thing I hate the most is, and this isn't an accessibility thing, obviously, but I hate it when something like the dialogue is really quiet,
and then the like background music is like blaring,
hits and it's like, yeah, I'm like, oh my god, it fucking pisses me off every time. It's like if somebody came over to you and like whispered a bit in your ear, and you're like, what? And then they scream. You're like, I fucking hate you, dude. Yeah, they're like, I'm just giving you what you wanted. Yeah, it's fucking annoying. For accessibility options for me, I think the arachnophobia is really cool. I can't think of a whole lot other than a lot of like the subtitle stuff that you were saying, because I mean, I don't have fucking amazing vision like Josh does, but I have good vision. So I would say I'm probably 2020, but I don't know. But I personally am trying to think of any accessibility options that I would really enjoy. I mean, I'm shit at games, so I'd like it if they were just easier. But
yeah, that's a
especially like, dude, if more roguelites had the ability to make the game easier, like fucking
Hades,
yeah. I might actually play them. Yeah. I might be let's go some baby mode shit.
I mean,
dude.
Binding of Isaac has an easy mode.
Does it though?
It's easier. They give you more drops. There's not as many challenging enemies and rooms. It's easier.
Okay, maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, I was also, one thing that I find kind of interesting is like, I'm a Souls-like fan. I'm not good at them,
which
but
is
I do
weird,
love those
dude.
games.
Yeah,
you're being shit at video games and I like hard games.
Yeah, well, whatever. You're just
dumb. So yeah, it's just fucking stupid. It's just it's really dumb. But I love them. I think they're so much fun because there's so much that goes into the polish of these games. Yeah. I just think they're amazing. The difficulty is just like an aside because it makes you feel so good when you finally get past something. Yeah. It just feels amazing. Mm-hmm. So, and that's kind of like a feeling I chase in a sense. Like, once again, I play games to feel alive. But I totally understand the argument that not everyone can play those games and there needs to be accessibility options in them for people who have difficulties. Like, I believe there are multiple gaming personalities like the Blind Gamer and the people from Able Gamers and stuff that have kind of like pushed to get accessibility options in specifically from Software's games, and I don't think that necessarily hurts anything. Like, having a feature there doesn't hurt the ability for this game to work and to pay off, because you could just opt out of it. You could be like, right. No, I don't want to use them. Similar to Celeste, you could start off and be like, hey, you can get through this game, I'm just letting you know, but if you need to, you can turn them on. That's totally fine. Right. It's technically like you're not going to get the same feel for the game. You're not going to get, it's not going to be as impactful, but they exist. And I think that's very important. Yeah. So I think that the ability to adjust difficulty, specifically in Souls-likes or games that are built to be incredibly difficult, would actually be very nice for the dum-dums like me, or people who have actual reasons to like they have actual reasons why they can't. Right. Like I had a when I worked for GameStop, I had a customer who he had a stroke, so he couldn't move as fast as he did before, but he loved video games. So I went over to his house and I played a section of games for him when he couldn't beat them. So it was like he was playing Far Cry, and I came over to his house and I beat this section of Far Cry for him so then he could continue to play, because he just wasn't, like, he had difficulty with it. He just wasn't fast enough. He couldn't move fast enough. So I totally understood it. So I think adjusting the difficulty is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
To answer Chris's other question, which he has, is what's your favorite game soundtracks? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't pay attention to the soundtracks often enough. I think Last of Us is amazing. Last of Us 1 and 2. I love acoustic guitar. I think it sounds great. Pathless was awesome. Other than that, I mean, I can't think of any games that legitimately got me like, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, like it slaps or anything. I don't know if there's ever a game where I'm just jamming out to like its songs.
Yeah, Undertale. That's what I'll say.
I honestly was just not that impressed with Undertale's music.
It's okay, buddy. You could be wrong.
You could be wrong. You're like, just like your Christmas opinions and your holiday shit. You could be wrong. It's fine.
You could be wrong.
I'm just going to hate you for it. You could be wrong, though.
I mean, we'll see how many more episodes we do together.
Yeah. I mean, you contract 1 million to the day you die. Like, I'm sorry.
1 million days until I die.
Got to read the fine print, bro. So We'll See writes in and says, it's December already and it doesn't feel like it. Let's make it so. What are your guys' Christmas lists, and what age did you figure out Santa wasn't real? What's your Christmas list, Josh, and when did you find out Santa wasn't real?
Man, I'm so bad with Christmas lists, or like just in general what I want. Anytime someone asks me, they're like, what do you want for Christmas? Or like, what do you want as a gift? I'm just like, I don't know. Nothing. Like because I'm always in that weird spot where I'm like, I can buy whatever I want that's like a lower denominator amount, and everything I want is probably like a couple $100, And I'm like,
yeah, so you don't want to ask.
I'm not gonna
for it.
be
You're
like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, could you buy me a PlayStation 5 or like whatever, like it's too much money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, fucking just either give me a gift card or just say Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever the fuck you want to say to me. Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've gotten much better at doing lists recently because my wife, her family does like really hardcore Christmas stuff. They're like, hey, they essentially just get you whatever the fuck you want. Like, it's great. It's awesome. But they require that you give them a list by a certain time. So I went through and I was like, these are literally everything I wanted. I was like, I need a new hat. Get me a new hat with like a minimal design kind of a thing. Nice. Specifically, I sent them an Akatsuki Cloud hat. If you're a Naruto fan, you know what that is. Nope. Really cool hat. Looks just like this. Fucking dad caps. Hell yeah. Gonna make some eventually. Don't you worry, Sam. I heard you say you would wear them. I'll fucking make them. Don't you worry. Once we get new art.
Man.
But so I have gotten better at Christmas lists. So like, here's a couple things that are on my Christmas list. One, dad cap with Akatsuki on it, or just minimal logo. 100%. That's my Christmas list. Two, I put on there that I wanted, there's like a bunch of different manga and anime that I want. So like, I put on there that I wanted Danmachi, or like, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? That's the name of the anime. I said I wanted season 2 specifically. I do not own season 1. But I asked for season 2 because I can't find it anywhere dubbed other than on this sketchy ass website, and I don't want to use it. I'm like, I'm not trying to get viruses,
bro.
Oh
my god, like, putting them on there.
Yeah, like, I'm not fucking with that. So yeah, so I was like, I want season 2 on Blu-ray or DVD. I don't give a shit. Like, I just want to watch it. I want to watch it dubbed. Like, that's all I care about. Because I have found it, and I give them links to the shit I want. Like, it's very easy to buy for me. I'm like, literally click on this link, add it to a cart, purchase it. That's it. It's super easy. I also included season 1 because I was like, if you want to give me season 1 too, that'd be cool. I have on there like I want a bunch of different, like, I have some different like light novels that I want, which are essentially just like Japanese novels, but they're typically like a lot of anime is based on them. So like I have a bunch of like Log Horizon novels and the Log Horizon Brigade of the West Wind, or West Wind Brigade, depending on how you say it, manga series. I have 3 volumes of it. I asked for like, I think 4 through 5 or 4 through 6. I asked for, trying to think of some other stuff, some different comics that I want. I asked for the Mass Effect comic omnibus. So it's like all of the Mass Effect comics that they put out. I asked for that. So yeah, I asked for like a bunch of shit. Like, honestly, Christmas is kind of that time where I'm like, I don't actually want anything. There was 2 things I put on my list that I wanted, and I made sure I put them on both. Said a new hat with minimal logos and Steam currency. Those are 2 things that I want above all else.
That's usually what people like. Anytime we do like the Secret Santas or something with family member, like my wife's family, anyone who gets me is just like, here, video game money. It's like just a card for Steam, and I'm like, sounds good. Like, that's
it's great. It's the gift that keeps on giving, because you're like, you give me a gift, you feel good about it, and then I buy something that I'm gonna enjoy. Like, you don't have to accidentally get me the wrong thing and I return it and stuff. That's kind of what I love. Like, I don't fuck with it's the thought that counts kind of a thing. I'm just like, just stick to the list, bro. Just fucking. Otherwise, honestly, I love when people get me stuff that I didn't ask for, but like, because I do very much enjoy the whole like it's the thought that counts. I think it's great. Like, oh, you thought of me and you purchased this. That's amazing. But also, I'm like, you have to understand that I'm never gonna fuck with this.
Can we take a small tangent? Have you ever had a inappropriate work? Like, have you ever had Secret Santas or some type of like white elephant at your job?
I wish.
Dude, I was gonna ask, what's the most inappropriate gift you've ever gotten? Because mine is a good one.
See, I've never done it at work, but I have done it with Morgan's family, and they do a white elephant every year. Like, her family's a bunch of like really religious people, so I never get to do anything funny. Like, I never get to like fucking gift a dildo or anything. Like,
I've gotten one.
They would literally die.
I've gotten a dildo as a Secret Santa gift. Oh my god! It was back when I was in I used to work at Haagen-Dazs, so I used to be an ice cream boy. And I was in this little shop, and it was like
Papa Josh ladling out ice cream. Hell yeah,
it was fucking good, dude. My milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. Anyway, so we used to do Secret Santas, and it was like 10 people or so. And I kept telling this one lady, I was like, I'm gonna get you a dildo. You want a dildo, right? A dildo. And she's like, no. And she was getting so mad. And the kid who got me thought it was so funny. He legit bought me a dildo. And for so long, I was like, the fuck am I gonna do with this? So I just, I did what any young teenager would do. I just kept slapping people with it.
Yeah, you just like
fucking smacking them with dildos. Yeah, it was great. I was like, that was one of those, like, the thought that counts. Like, I'm not gonna use this, but good gift.
I mean, a thought that counts thing is, I thought it was like, I found the idea of truck nuts so funny one year, and I got my brother because we do like a gift exchange, so each of us picks a name and we buy shit for that person.
Yep.
I got my brother and I just bought him this fat pair of truck nuts because he's obsessed with this truck. He loves trucks. So I bought him this fat ass pair of truck nuts. He didn't put it on.
Oh, what a bitch.
I did. Yeah, I was like, damn it. I hate getting my brother because I always buy things that I think are funny and it's never as funny as I think it is.
The struggle.
So to answer your question, when did I find out that Santa wasn't real? Once again, I have a brother and older siblings just in general. I never thought Santa was real.
Yeah.
They immediately ruined it for me. They're like, you fucking idiot? No.
I was, I have like a half brother and 2 half sisters, but I never lived with them. So I was technically an only child, but I was one of those kids who at a very young age just kind of got the idea of it, like, this is clearly not real. So I spoiled it on myself for quite early in. But like later on, my mom was telling me, she was like, why'd you have to be such a little dum-dum? The only reason I was asking you what you wanted from Santa was so I could buy you the gift, you idiot. You're trying to be the smart one, be like, Mom, Santa doesn't exist. I'm not going to tell you. And she's like, you could have just told me so you would get the gifts. I was like, oh, me trying to be smart was actually dumb.
Dude, my mom is such a wholesome, cute lady. I'm her youngest. I'm 25 years old. She still writes all my Christmas presents from Santa. And I'm
That's
like,
so
what
cute.
are you fucking doing, dude? I've never believed in Santa. And she still does it.
No.
It's the funniest shit.
Very cute.
I'm just like, and you always know it's from her because no one else does that.
Right. Yeah.
Literally no one else writes from Santa. And she does. She's like, they all gonna know it's me. And I'm like,
yeah. So either Santa is real and your mom's a dick for never getting you a Christmas gift, or
that's so true. That's definitely up there. Yeah. Like, have you learned in your life that you don't know your parents at all? Like, there have been times where, like, I was like, oh, I know exactly who my parents are. And then hearing stories about them, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have, like, a really close relationship with my dad. So, like, I know shit that, like, you probably shouldn't tell kids. So I'm a little bit opposite on that. But like, yeah, like, if I didn't hear any of those stories, I'd be fucking, like, thrown for a loop. Like, I still am. There's certain things that he's done that I just, like, look at him and I'm like, ooh.
He's like, I killed a man one day.
Yeah, no, not that. But he used to be like back in the day. If you know anything about the Grateful Dead, it was an old band. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know it, or if most people on this listening didn't know it. But like, he was what they called a deadhead. So he would literally just travel. Like, he was a roadie. He would just travel with the band and go from concert to concert to concert. So I'm sure you can wager at a few wild guesses as to some certain interesting stories that I've heard about my father that I'm like, whew, I would never do some of that shit. But I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. So moving on to our next question. We've got Moo Schroeder. I don't know how to say
Moo Schroeder?
Sorry. Schroeder. Yeah, there you go. Maybe it's Moo Schroeder. Says, if there were a cooking game in VR similar to Iron Chef, would you want it to be realistic or over the top like Food Wars? Josh, over the top like Food Wars? I'm pretty sure we've got a consensus on this.
Over the top. If this is a VR game, I want this to be balls to the wall. I want this to be like Quap-esque. And I don't know how you do that if it's VR, so you should be controlling your own limbs, but like, I want it to be as wacky as that.
Okay, all right. So it's like Octodad, but a food simulator.
Exactly. Octachef.
Exactly. Yeah, I would love it to be like Food Wars. I believe like this is an indie game developer. I feel like they're doing some sort of like fucking like focus testing on us. They're like, which one would you enjoy?
Definitely the Food Wars.
100%. Like, I want to see people have some orgasmic ass. Like, like when they I told this to Josh, when they taste my scrambled eggs, I want them to do that anime shit where they're like, kind of a thing. Like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah. You knew that. There's no... Why the fuck would I give a shit about realism? I can make an omelet, okay?
It's true.
But I can't make someone orgasm from an omelet. That's a different skill entirely. So...
It really is.
I'm going to be honest. I looked at this name. It's Ivis, but when I first looked at it, I thought it said Isis. And I was like, what? Ivis,
they
or Ivis, writes in and says, question, top 5 or 10 games, whatever floats your boat, best indie game you are looking forward to play in 2021. Josh, top 5, top 10.
Top 5.
This one.
No particular order. Binding of Isaac, obviously. Slay the Spire.
The Repentance DLC?
Well, I'm thinking of it as a collective.
Are you like
the collective?
Are you basically just like, these are the games I want to play more of in 2021?
I mean,
or are you thinking of new games coming out?
Oh, I'm sorry. I read this question wrong. Top 5 or 10 games.
I don't think he.
I thought it was two separate questions. I thought he was saying top 5 games in general, and then asking what are you looking forward to. So maybe I have it wrong. But then, if that is the case, top 1 is definitely Binding of Isaac, the Repentance DLC. Then I would say for other 2021 games, I mean, there's a lot, because there's a lot of stuff that got pushed back. Like, I want to know, like, I don't know if Cuphead is coming out in 2021 because it got delayed indefinitely, but like, it should be 2021, I would hope. There was that one game, I can't remember what it was, but I never saw it come out, where you were like the mother deer and you were walking through, like, trying to find, like,
we've talked about it a couple times. We can never remember the title.
I don't ever remember it. It's like a post-apocalyptic world, and you're this mama deer walking with her baby deer and trying to, like, get through the world. I definitely want to play that game. I can't think of anything else at this time. It's one of those things, we talked about this before the podcast, where it was like, if I quickly Google the list, I could probably rattle off like a ton of different things that I'm excited for, but on the spot, I don't know. So why don't I shoot it over to you, and I'll do a quick search. Because I read this question wrong, so I'm totally.
I mean, you might not have. I might have read this question wrong. So I thought it was like top 5 or 10 games you were looking forward to playing in 2021, but I'm not sure if it was actually meant to be that way. So I'm just gonna say it the way that I read it.
Let's do it.
The top 5 or 10 games that I'm looking forward to and playing in 2021, they don't actually. This isn't like just like yours in no particular order. Of course, Hollow Knight Silksong, really looking forward to it. Solar Ash Kingdom. Or just Solar Ash. I believe it's just Solar Ash now. Really looking forward to it. Fuck, dude, I literally just Googled indie games that were coming out in 2021 specifically for this reason. I was like, these are so easy. How could I forget this? Tunic. Really looking forward to it. Death Trash. Really looking forward to it. I'm so surprised we haven't seen more from Tunic. It was revealed like 2017.
Yeah, I don't.
Just
that's
nothing.
Very, very secretive.
Yeah, really looking forward to playing some Tunic. Trying to think of some more games that I'm really
I want to see what the new Wuppo, the PvP,
the multiplayer
multiplayer game is, because I want to see if there's going to be. I hope it takes off and people like enjoy it, so that they can be like, oh, let's make actual content again for a sequel to the story, because that's more of what I want. But I want to see how that plays out and if it's fun. Yeah, I'm looking through a couple of things. Biomutant, is that coming out? I don't know. It's still in this weird, like...
They've put out more gameplay for it within the past couple years.
It says available 2021, so I'm going to say, but like this has also been, like, I think it was available 2020 back in this year earlier, so I have no idea. But I would want to play that game. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many good games coming out. I'm just taking it one step at a time. All right. Too many games.
Yeah, I get it. It happens. I do the same thing where I'm just like, fuck. Like, off the top of the head is so hard. Weird West. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's another good one. Or, I mean, maybe
Weird West looks great. Flynn, Son of Crimson. Really, really looking forward to it. Like, I've been waiting for that game for, I think, like 4 years or something. Like, it looked great when it was back on Kickstarter. I didn't back it, sadly, because the Kickstarter had ended by the time that I saw it. But it looks really, really great. So, yeah, there's a lot of games that I'm really looking forward to playing in 2021. I mean, maybe, like, I'm so excited. I literally cannot explain how excited I am to play Unto the End Like, I'm definitely going to stream it because I'm fucking stoked once I figure out how streaming works, because I don't know. Speaking of, just a little bit of foreshadowing, it is possible that Josh and I will actually do a stream for the Game Awards. We don't know 100% if we're going to, but if you're listening to this as a patron, it's possible that we might be doing it. So just keep an eye on it. Yep. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, Josh, I'm going to kick it back to you. Now, do you have some thoughts?
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't find anything. Look, I mean, there's a bunch, and I'll actually do more research on this and figure out, and maybe do like a part 2 of this, of like upcoming games.
Answer next week.
Yeah. But I mean, we rattled off a lot of good games already that are, well, I mean, like, again, could be good. Look good games that I'm excited for. But that being said, who knows?
Show you the money.
Might
You're
be.
Like,
yeah,
we don't know until
show
it comes
me the
out.
money. Also, might be delayed indefinitely. So who knows?
Yeah, that's definitely like we can't even 100% say that the games we just rattled off will actually even come out in 2021.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, it's very possible that the coronavirus continues to ravage the world and like it's delayed even worse. So
yeah.
Whatever. Our last question comes from Philip Renshaw from Canada and has an amendment by Will C, which I very much appreciate. Everybody working hard to make these questions as weird as possible. Philip Renshaw writes in and says, in a post-apocalyptic world, would you eat your co-host to stay alive? Josh, would you eat me?
I don't know. I feel like
like you're dirty.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know how you would
how I would taste.
If
probably salty. I'm gonna be honest. I eat a lot of salt.
Oh well, then you might be good. Yeah, nutritionally,
yeah, like if you enjoy salty stuff,
probably wouldn't offer me much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm basically just a walking bag of jerky.
Yeah.
So
well, at least she'll be tasty, I guess. No, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I feel like you're put in that position where you're like, would you? And most people, I would hope most people would be like, no, I'd never do that. But like, the world's ending, and there's literally no food. And
yeah, I'd eat you.
Yeah.
If there's no food,
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Dude, wouldn't it be fucked up if it was like The Mist situation where you thought the world was ending, you ate me, and then fucking just some trucks rolled by and they're like, haha, just kidding, it took us a second to get ready, but like, we good. And I'm just sitting there like fucking on the barbecue, like, and you're just like cutting my arm off. You're like, I mean, I already, you're like about to take a bite, and they're just like, bruh. And
what are you doing?
I mean, I'm already this far. I might as well taste it. You just take the bite.
Take the bite. like, well, I'm going to get in trouble for this anyway.
Yeah, you're like, I mean, I killed a man to eat him. Did you hear about that guy who sold himself? Like, he was critically ill. Like, he was going to die. So he was like, hey, I want someone to kill me and eat me. Like, did you hear about that?
No.
Yep.
That's
gross. He posted on, like, Craigslist or some shit that he wanted someone to kill him and eat him. And somebody took him up on it. He's like, okay, I'll eat you.
Good God, that's gross. No, that seems so weird. I mean, I guess if it's a consensual thing, but like, stop. What are you doing?
It's like the Death with Dignity Act, but you're just like an added bit, kind of like a prenub to the situation is that I need you to eat me afterwards.
Yeah. Well, no, thank you.
He's like, I need you to, like, that would be so uncomfortable because he's like, I need you to calm down, be really calm. Your fear will taint the meat. Just like,
disgusting.
And Will C's amendment is, and what part of him would you eat first? What part of me would you eat first? I got a juicy ass, but that's mostly fat, so I don't know if you want that fat.
Yeah, I'm not a person who really likes fat, to be honest. I'd probably go for them breasts.
Oh yeah, dude?
Yeah.
You can't see them, but I got them middies. I got them man titties. Like, pop, pop, pop.
Them's is good eating.
So, yeah, I don't know. Probably a thigh. I'd probably eat your thigh first. I feel like that would have the best meat. Like,
I got some
you
good
seem
meat.
like you'd have some. Yeah, you'd have some like juicy thighs.
Yeah.
Like, I know you got that donk, so it's like, yeah, maybe he's got the thighs too. Like, I cut it off.
You know how it
I
goes.
feel like it'd be harder to get it off, but like if I just took a good swing, just I get it off,
Clear
roast
right
it
off.
on a spit, kind of a thing. Like, this is the apocalypse. I feel like nobody's being weird about it. Like,
no one's being weird. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right. quote for it.
I'm just hunched over your dead body, just like eating a thigh, and they're just like,
nobody be weird about
fucking
this.
Can of peaches right there. Like, I don't know why you resorted to that so quickly.
Oh, and by the way, let's roll back. I do have a couple of games that I thought of.
Okay, go for it.
So She Dreams Elsewhere. We've talked about it on the podcast before. That's supposed to supposedly come out in 2021. There is Undying, which we had the developer interview. That's supposed to come out in 2021. There is, where is this? There's this one game that I've been following for a long time, but I don't know when it will actually come out. I'm hoping it does, called Netherworld.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it on the podcast before. It had the Kickstarter campaign.
Yes. So I'm hoping it comes out in 2021, but I don't know, maybe it won't. Eastward looks interesting. I know you've talked about it before. That might be cool to check out. What is it? There's one specifically, Unsighted. We've talked about a long time ago. That looks pretty cool. And then where is it? There's one more that I specifically wanted to, Ruined King. So I'm not a big League of Legends fan as far as playing it, but I like the characters because I used to, and I still watch it from like a professional sense. And it's being developed by the same people who created, I think it's called Battle Chasers, which had pretty positive reviews.
Yeah, Battle Chasers Night War was originally a comic and then a game.
Yeah, so that's supposed to come out early 2021. So I'm pretty optimistic about how that's going to turn out. So those are a couple of the games that I'm looking forward to.
Damn, this Ruined King thing, he has a sword that straight up looks like Narsil. I would honestly be surprised if fucking J.R.R. Tolkien's like estate did not sue the fuck out of Riot for stealing this fucking sword.
Maybe. I don't know.
So that's pretty much it. I would eat the fuck out of Josh's thigh, and we're looking forward to playing some indie games. So that's the end of this podcast. Thanks everyone so much for listening. If you would like to chat with us outside of the show, you could do so in a bunch of different ways. You can, of course, hit us up on Twitter at IndiePod. Very easy way to stay informed on indie games, to know about like indie game sales and so much more. Also, join our Discord, the IndiePod Discord. I will make sure that I post it again on Twitter, but make sure you join it. Just a bunch of us talking about weird shit. It's very fun. A bunch of amazing people. I very much enjoy them. And one kangaroo. I refuse to believe that he's not a kangaroo. It's just... he's trying to gaslight us, Josh.
For sure,
he's trying to make us believe
like we're the crazy ones, that he's a kangaroo.
I'm not gonna fall for his bullshit. Okay, like
no way, get out of here.
Shut your mouth, shit. You slippery kangaroo.
You slippery kangaroo.
Of course, you can hit us up at the Indie Incursion email, indieincursionpodcast@gmail.com. Me, specifically, you can hit me up at Hyde Legion on Twitter. Soon to be at, like, I don't know, twitch.tv/Hyde Legion once I start streaming on Twitch. Probably, I think. And that's pretty much it. I will be putting out somewhat of like a let's play or review on Chronos Before the Ashes eventually when I finish it. Not 100% sure when I'll do so, but I'm really looking forward to it because I really loved Remnant. So far, not exactly living up to it, but it's still got some pretty good parts. So I'm kind of excited to talk about it. But Josh, where can they find you other than, of course, your Twitter, which is at @_George90 and twitch.tv/the_George, correct?
That is correct. You can't really find me anywhere else. I pretty much just chill there. Parallax.
Like, I don't want to talk to you anywhere else, actually. Yeah. Like, that's the only ones I'm going to give you, at least.
Yeah, there's a couple others. You can come to my house. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't. Come check out my grill. Yeah, no, the main
my dad grill.
The main places are really I stream infrequently. I need to kind of get back on that horse, but it's just I haven't really felt inspired to really jump on or wanted to really play too much. I feel like once the new Binding of Isaac drops, I'll probably get really big into streaming that for a while. Other than that, I still want to play World of Horror and show that off because I think that's a really good game and people should see it. But otherwise, yeah, just keep it locked here. Listen to my developer interviews, whatnot. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, bringing that up. We do have the Politics and War developer interview going up the day after this goes live for patrons and the couple days before for free feeds. So head over, listen to that. The developer interviews are always great. Please check out the IndiePod store. Buy a t-shirt, buy a sticker. become a patron. Of course, $1, $3, $5. Great tiers gives you some stuff in Discord. It gives you early access to the shows, exclusive access to episodes, and so much more. Please give us a shout out over on YouTube, like share our stuff, subscribe, like, leave comments, all that fun stuff. Please leave us reviews on all sorts of podcasting platforms. And lastly, thank you so much to our amazing patrons, Will C, Mixomatosis, aka Mix, Zach Durham, Chase Hopkins, Philip Renshaw from Australia, Chris Penwell, Josh Nichols, and Sam Fillion from Canada. Thank you all so much for being so amazing. That is it for this episode, and we will talk to you all next week.
Bye, everyone.